Yo, what it do? What it do? Hey, what's good with all of you? Hey, we got a football stream popping off today, guys. Well, we get to actually talk some freaking football. Why? Because football is finally going on. Goddamn. About time, right? About time we starting to get some goddamn football news, some football entertainment, and all the above. Well, what's good with everybody? Hopefully everybody's had a good week so far. I have and haven't. I've been having some difficulties. I've been having some things going on that aren't the greatest for me, unfortunately, health-wise. But I'm going to push through. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get my ass up every day and bust my ass like I always do. This is what I do. But I'm all right other than the health. Other than the health, I am all right. I can deal with what I got going on. It just sucks. But
yeah,
you can dream, Nemo. You can dream. It's good to dream. Dream big. Dream big and reach for the stars, Nemo. But probably not. Probably not. Him and I don't see Baltimore or the Bills going to the Super Bowl. Neither of them have been able to make it there. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Dallas. You know what I'm saying. Yes, sir. We beat the Bills in the Super Bowl twice. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the 92 win, or the 92 win and 93 season. What? Yeah, it's all coming from a Cowboy fan. Exactly. But what, Noah? What? What up, Mama Do? Welcome in. All right, so as football is getting underway, we are getting content letting us know how things are going. So I have been seeing a bunch of things coming across for the Cowboys and other teams. So I just wanted to get in here and actually have some football conversations with y'all, because we ain't really been able to do that lately. Or I just have been slacking on doing that lately, because the off-season shenanigans, to me, is all just hearsay. It's talk. It's this, that. It's whatever. To me, it's nothing. Unless it's breaking news in the off-season, to me, it's just talk. And I ain't here trying to report on a whole bunch of just talk. So we got some things that are going on. We don't take Baltimore seriously either, Nemo. Don't feel bad. Yeah, if he lets you.
they're in that room.
Hey, I think we have a good opportunity this year, Juan. I ain't going to lie to you. I do think that we have an opportunity. Before I go putting that out there and putting it as a gamble, though, I definitely want to see them on the actual field against another team. Yeah, we have struggled with the first and second round of the playoffs. Yes, last year was like the only year we missed in like the last 5 years, but that's okay. We made it to the playoffs about every year except for last year for like the last 5 years, but that's okay. That's not the goal. That is a hump that the Cowboys, need to get over. 100%, yes. Hell yeah. There you go, Juan. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, so we got some different things coming up. I got a couple videos that we can react to and talk about with the Cowboys, and then we can talk about some other things as well. I think the Cowboys' offense is going to be just fine. I really don't think that there's many flaws on the offense. Honestly, it's the defense for the Cowboys that I have the most questions about. The offense, I really don't. I really don't have that many questions for the offense. I just want them to stay healthy. If they stay healthy, I think the offense is going to be just fine. I think we're going to be able to average close to 30 points a game. Just fine, as long as they stay healthy. The defense, it's the running game that we need to be able to stop. And I've seen a lot of good feedback coming out of the building on that, but we'll just have to see how it actually plays out for the team. No, I'm for sure that my offense is fine. The only if is if they stay healthy. If they stay healthy, they're going to be fine. They're going to average probably close to 30 points. Easily, no. Easily, they're going to average close to 30 points if they stay healthy. That's the only if they stay healthy. Past that, there's no ifs. But yeah, so I'll pull up this first video here. Get it ready. This is brought to you by, hold on, let me get the dude's name, Mattydubs. Shout out to Mattydubs. If y'all like this video I'm about to show, go ahead and check him out. He does mostly Cowboys content, so I think he might do some other content as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that. He has 2 channels. It's called Mattydubs, and then he has, I think, Double Move. I think those are both his channels, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Higgins is Cincinnati. Wiggins is Baltimore. If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Nemo is right. There is a guy named Wiggins on his team. He's 100% positive on that. Yeah, I'm not a Bengals fan. Exactly. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna play this first clip here, and we'll see what we think. Get it set up. Screen share. Boom. The magic isn't as fast as me. There it goes. There it goes. But we're gonna put it like this. Let me know. Can you all see that just fine, or do I need to do it like this? Are you guys on phones? Because if you're on phones, I probably need to do it like this. Or actually, you know what? We'll just go all the way with it. We'll just go all the way with it. So we'll post it like this. Let me go ahead and get this loaded up. Let me get things set up for y'all. Hey, that needs to be muted. Mute. Mic. Analytics. All right, there we go. Now I can get my analytics up. Neither. I'm not fond of going on dinner dates with another guy. But Joe Burrow is my favorite. Josh Allen comes close second. They would be completely stupid, Juan, I would say, if they put Turpin at running back. I don't think we need him at running back. I think we need him at wide receiver as a deep threat. He needs to be a deep threat at wide receiver. They definitely like Mario and Luigi. For shizzle. For shizzle, my nizzle. But all right. I'm getting it all prepped and ready. Yep. La da 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 da. Getting it all loaded for ya. All right, here we go. We got things going now. Now we got it going. All right, chat. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. Do you guys, can you see the clip just fine when I have it like this? Because I'd really like to have my background have some kind of precedence with my name on it. Helps give my channel a little promotion. That would be sad, Messi, but it very well could happen. There's a lot of good quarterbacks that have never won Super Bowls, that's for sure. Dan Marino being probably the best. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to go ahead and start this clip. And again, this is Mattydubs. If y'all like this content, please make sure y'all go check him out. I'm going to go ahead and get it started, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, day 3 of the
All right, so actually I was mistaken. Mattydubs and Double Move are two different people. My bad.
Dallas Cowboys training camp period and practices start now. We got a lot to talk about in this video. News, notes, highlights, observations, everything you can think of. We've got you guys covered. However, like we always do, I want to give credit where it is due. And that is with all of the Cowboy media members
John Machota, Nick Harris,
so
Joe
Hoyt.
I don't know who. Oh, Tommy Yarnish.
Go
I do
follow
know
them
who
on
he is.
Twitter X if you haven't already done so. You're gonna see their names at the top of the screen. Guys, I promise you, they post so much footage and show so much news of practice that you can go through their Twitter and you can just see everything. Okay, so go give them a follow right now if you haven't already done so. All this footage belongs to them. The first thing you notice about today's practice is, first of all, Micah Parsons has his helmet on, okay? The first 2 days, we have not seen that. Now, we also noticed that we got shells. We got the first...
Hey, and Juan, he may have said that, but words are not actions, and until those words get put into actions, he's going to have that doubt on him. Or at least until he makes it to an NFC championship round, he's going to have people doubting him. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is for the Dallas Cowboys. It has no matter whatsoever who the Dallas Cowboys quarterback is. There is going to be 100% doubt on anybody and everybody that plays quarterback at the Dallas Cowboys. There's going to be doubt. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Until the Cowboys get over the hump, there's going to be that doubt, and that's what the Cowboys are focusing on this year, is getting over that hump. So, let's get into it.
Day of shells, which basically means shoulder pads are on, no bottoms, but essentially, one step forward for Micah Parsons. He has his helmet on today, and then another step.
It's good that we get to see Micah Parsons in training camp while he's still waiting. He's not holding out. He's not holding in. He is participating in training camp with his team, which I love to see. Is it the best for him? Maybe not so much. Is it the best for the team? Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and get back into this.
Forward for the team. Now, Brian Schottenheimer did come out and say, listen, today might get a little bit more competitive, might get a little bit more chippy. We already saw this team starting to get a little bit chippy during yesterday's practice. Marquise Bell and someone on the offense going at it a little bit. But today...
What up, Shrivel? Hey, shit happens, man. That's what practice is for. Practice is for trying all the new things to see if they work. But you want them to have that happen in practice, not in game. So that's good. Joe Milton has also thrown tons of picks throughout training camp, mini camp, all of that. He's thrown a bunch of picks too. So it just is what it is.
Could be a little bit different. We're going to break down everything you need to know. Let's dive in. Ultimately, right when practice started, it seemed like Micah Parsons went...
There'll be more than 2 interceptions and less than 45 touchdowns. I promise you, Noah. I promise you. What up, Loyal? What's good? Yes, sir. Rest in peace, Hope.
Right back
Nobody
over to the
deserves
coaching
to
staff
die,
and
even if I
started
don't
chilling.
like you.
Still not participating 100% in team activities yet, and hopefully once a deal gets signed or whatever like that, hopefully he can start practicing again. But obviously he does not want to risk any sort of injury before that pen is put to paper, and that just makes sense. Alright, so today I feel like I wanted to do things a little bit differently. Instead of showing the pre-warm-ups, I want to jump right into the plays, okay? So this one's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I remember yesterday talking a little bit about the read option and discussing the fact that they might run some read option with Dak Prescott, and that's what we're going to see right.
The offense is going to have a shit ton of motions in it this year in comparisons. Mike McCarthy did not believe in pre-snap motion. If you watch the Cowboys offense in the past, especially the past 4 years, there is damn near barely any pre-snap motion because Mike McCarthy wasn't for it. He also wasn't for calling good plays when they were needed. He also was horrible at time management. He also didn't know his players' best skill sets to put them in the best positions. I see that changing, and we're just hoping that that's the case with this new coach. I have faith in Brian Schottenheimer. I am riding with the Shotty, faux show. So let's just see.
Here, we're gonna keep it and we're gonna let him go. Now, again, I said over the past couple of days,
well, you got Dak
don't be
running the ball.
surprised if they
said Dak wasn't gonna run the ball no more. They got him running the ball in practice.
Are implementing this into their system because they want to be more dynamic. They want to be more versatile. They want to be more unpredictable when it comes to running the football. If you can just hold one of those edge defenders out, trying to contain Dak on these read options, that's one less defender to tackle the running back.
I watch the Cowboys 100%, and then I do watch other games as well to see the differences between my team and other teams. So I do watch a lot more football than just the Cowboys. But I get what you're saying, Nemo.
Right, so it does add a lot more versatility to your offense. Now, you have to be wary because you do not want to get your quarterback injured. Okay, so you got to be careful. We saw some read option keepers with Joe Milton yesterday as well. So, again, I think this is not going to be a focal point of their offense by any means, but it is something we have to watch out for. Again, go follow the boy, Joseph Hoyt. This dude does such a great job with all these videos, so we're going to be keeping up with him today. Let's dive back into some more
Joe
film.
Hoyt
He also gave us another big update
so
here. Kenneth Murray is expecting a baby, a child, which is huge. Congratulations to him. He was at a practice. He was actually one of the guys who has been standing out as an inside backer. He's got a ton of speed and a ton of versatility. They believe he can be the next guy up as an inside linebacker, right next to DeMarvion, right? We also saw Terrence Steele. He wasn't practicing either. He is working on a little bit of an ankle injury. Hopefully he's back as soon as possible. But we did see Hakeem.
By the way, Noah, Carnage's logic is flawed and ridiculous. We don't live by that.
Hakeem Adeniji getting some work in with the starters at right tackle. Now, let me actually get to this Dallas Cowboys depth chart really quickly here. When you look at this offensive line, I actually am pretty excited about this unit.
Every football team travels from state to state. So in every state they travel in, they're going to have fans from that state. Maybe not as much as the home state or the home team, but they're going to have fans in every state that they travel in because the teams travel. It's not like they only play in one city. They play in tons of cities, 32 cities across the United States, including other countries. So that logic is flawed.
Because you have Tyler Guyton, a former, I mean, look how many former first-round picks are on this offensive line with Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, and Tyler Booker. A lot of Tylers, but these boys are about to cook, right? Now,
but Messi, you need to capitalize that, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th word. You need to capitalize that whole word because at the end of the day, all that is an opinion. You said it. You said it. That's your opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
You have Asim Richards. You obviously have a Johnny Cornelius as well. But it seems like they like Hakeem Adeniji to move swing tackle, normally a left, but swinging to the right side to take place of Terrence Steele today. We'll see how that kind of holds up in today's practice for sure. So we're going to keep up to date with that. Another play here. Again, pads are on, so things are going to get a little bit more contact-ish. Again, they're not bringing to the ground by any means. So right here, Joe Milton is your quarterback. Let me actually take myself in.
I'm not a kid for one, Messi. I'm twice your age. And what book? I've read many books. I read books all the time, to be honest.
Let me put myself in the top corner over here. So first thing, notice we're gonna hand it off to Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue has gotten a lot of hate recently. Maybe not from Cowboys fans, but a former coach, I believe, said he's too lazy or something like that. Right here,
I did hear rumors.
Does a great job.
We did hear rumors come out. That's the only real negative, I guess, other than Turpin's arrest, which really wasn't a negative. It really wasn't. The only other negative we've heard was somebody spreading rumors that Jaden Blue is lazy. The fastest running back in the draft this year is lazy, he says. I don't know who the guy was that said that. It's someone that supposedly previously has known Jaden Blue. But I don't give a damn because that's not what I see. I don't see the laziness. I see the speed. I see the athletic ability. I see the burst. I see the vision. I see the aggressiveness. And I see the hunger. And if he could put that all together and make good game, then that's good. I don't think that Jaden Blue is even going to be the starter. I think Javonte Williams is going to be our starter. Miles Sanders has even surprised me because I thought he was going to be a camp body. But he has surprised and shown out in training camp. But again, this is training camp, so we do have to take it with a grain of salt.
Ability cuts up the field. Looks like he doesn't get touched for about 10 to 12 yards up the field. So great job by Jaden Blue. He definitely has a little bit of burst, and I'm happy we're starting to see a little bit more of him implemented in.
I agree, Nemo, but at the end of the day, that's not enough. That's not enough. We've made it to the second round many times. The problem is we need to make it, the Cowboys to have a successful season need to make it at least to the NFC Championship game. That is success. Anything under that is failure.
To this offense, because I feel like over the first couple of days we saw a lot of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, which is cool. Those guys are good backs, but I really wanted to see Jaden Blue. I feel like he's a change of pace and a guy that can really make a defense pay if you're not quick enough, not fast enough, because he's got all the speed in the world, and that one cut ability is basically home run ability here in the NFL. So all in on Jaden Blue. Hopefully he has a great preseason. I cannot wait for preseason to get started. However, before we get any further into this video, guys, make sure you do me a...
And to be fair, I do think the Lions have ifs. I do. Not with their talent, but with their coaching staff. I do think that those are ifs because they are not proven yet. So it's if it works. If. I'm not saying that it won't. I'm not saying that it will. I'm just saying we need to see it. Same thing with my Cowboys. Before I sit there and start sipping that Kool-Aid, we need to see it in action. I need physical proof that I can watch with my eyes and actually see.
Big time favor, hit the like button if you want more Cowboys videos. If we get over, let's say 800 likes, you guys have been killing these videos, and that's how I know you want more. So if you guys continue to want more, hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you're...
My only question for you, Mattydubs, as a Cowboys fan, why do you have a Celtics banner in the background? Where are you from, Mattydubs? Shout outs to you. I appreciate it. I love all your content. Well, why do you have a Celtics banner in the background? Dallas and Boston are more than 1,000 miles away.
New as well. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And like I said, we're going to be covering...
No, Juan. The Lions have never had a championship. Not once. They've only been there one time. And yes, they are in the NFC, not the AFC, like Nemo stated. No, they didn't. The previous year, it was Eagles and Niners. It was Eagles and Niners, and the Eagles, they won it, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, they lost because they had sorry. So it was 2 years in a row, I believe. And it was the Eagles and the Niners, and then the previous year, I'm pretty sure it was the Eagles and Niners as well. I could be mistaken. I'd have to go back and look at the 2021-2022 season.
This Dallas Cowboy team through all of training camp, preseason, breaking down the all-22 coaches film, individual player breakdowns as well, and then obviously regular season as well. We got you guys covered with everything you need to see. Turn on post notifications and let's dive back in. Here we go. So now we get Donovan E. I like to talk about these edge rushers a ton, and let me just play the clip real quick. He bull rushes Asim Richards, holds up relatively, I don't want to say good, because he pushes him all the way back into the side of Joe Milton. So I would say this is definitely a win rep for Donovan E. Doesn't get
Now that's a win rep for Donovan E. against the second to third string.
Sack by any means.
To give
I wouldn't even count this as a would-be sack either, but I would say pressure. You crave,
because Guyton is our number one tackle on the left side. Not just space blank on his name.
Pressure on that play. This was
Not
PFF. They would clock that as pressure. You force Joe Milton to get that ball out a little bit quicker than maybe he might have wanted to. Jaden Blue's also running that quick little
awesome Richards,
swing route. But hey, Donovan E., this guy can definitely win reps with a combination of
Tell him, Juan. Let him know. Leave me alone.
We can sit here all day. My dog right here as
well.
We can sit here all day and talk about this running back room with Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa and Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams, but we cannot sleep on Deuce Vaughn. This dude,
Vaughn, I would be surprised if he makes it off the practice squad.
But what makes him really dangerous is he's tough to see.
All right, so we have seen this before with Deuce Vaughn. He is kind of all right. So I disagree with Mattydubs here. We have seen this before with Deuce Vaughn, where with Deuce Vaughn, he'll look good in training camp and in preseason. He has looked great. But once we put him in regular season form, he has not produced. He just has not produced. And to be fair to the man, I think he's like our fifth string running back at this point. Because we got Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, we got Jaden Blue, we got Phil Maffa. All of them I put over little old Deuce Vaughn. Sorry, Mattydubs, I do disagree with you, because until I see him perform in a regular season game, I just don't think. To me, the Deuce Vaughn experiment was a failure, and I don't know. Yes, we have his O-line coach from college. Yes, we have his starting center, who was in college his starting right guard. But that doesn't always mean that he's going to be able to perform in regular season. He has looked good before in the last 2 years in the preseason and in training camp. So as he is giving value on Deuce Vaughn, I don't want to believe it until I see it in a regular season game, because I've seen it in preseason and I've seen it in training camp for the last 2 years. It looks good. Last year, I thought he was going to be much better than his rookie year. And then when we got in the regular season, he just wasn't. He just wasn't. So until I see Deuce Vaughn actually produce in the regular season, I'm not going to be able to stamp any kind of approval on that dude. And with him now being like the fifth string running back, I just don't think he's going to get the opportunities like that. It'll be very, very here and there when he gets an opportunity. I'm surprised you know who Kurt Cobain is.
You'll notice when you're watching NFL games, a lot of running backs get
He was
low.
dead
When they
before
first
you
get
were
the ball, they
alive,
get
almost.
really low to the
How
ground,
long
right?
ago did Kurt Cobain die?
When we was little.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kurt Cobain was dead before you were alive. No, Nirvana's phenomenal music. But I'm pretty sure Kurt Cobain died, or I'm gonna say died. I was gonna not say that on live, but okay. So yes, as my wife already said, he committed suicide. I believe in the early 2000s. I don't know the year, but I know that I was much younger.
It wasn't the 2000s, the early 90s.
Was it the 90s? Was it that far back?
What year did Kurt Cobain die?
94. So yeah, so it was 90s. I was trying to give Nemo Messi a little credit. I was trying to give him a little credit, but yeah, he died in 94. Unfortunately, by his own doing, which was a very sad story. But it is what it is.
Let's get you some clothes on.
Messi, you're crazy, bro. I'm cultured on my country. Man, our country's a goddamn melting pot.
The reason they do that is so those
I love
second
it,
and
though.
third level
But
defenders
it's
behind the O-line,
got its
behind the
oddities.
D-line, they can't see him, right? But Deuce Vaughn doesn't need to lower
Of course they can't see him. The guy is 5'3".
his center of gravity. He's
his
already
name is
kind of a
Deuce
small
Deuce.
running back, which makes it extremely, extremely difficult to understand, okay, where is he? And by the time you find him, he's already gone, right? And that's kind of what you see right
That is the thought that we had with Deuce Vaughn the last 2 years, Mattydub. All right, so I don't know how long Mattydub has been following the Cowboys. This I do not know. I know this year he has been reporting on them. He reports on them a lot and generally puts out some pretty good content. I definitely disagree with his take on Deuce this year, just because I'm not going to believe anything on Deuce Vaughn until I see it. Because I got high on him last year in training camp. Because I thought, oh, he looks so much better than he did last year. And then we got in the regular season, and it crumbled. Now, last year, I guess you can't really use it as a measuring stick because we had a ton of injuries and a ton of bad things happen for the Cowboys. So that's not really the greatest example, but I definitely am not going to be able to stamp an approval on Deuce Vaughn until I see him.
here. Let me see if I can get this back. Play's already started, but he kind of leaks out when
I've heard there's been a bunch of injuries so far this year throughout training camp and mini camp and stuff.
thinks he's on the opposite side of the field. Look at it. Everyone's going to the opposite side of the field, and then boom, one cut, he's gone. Nobody can get him. He is a dangerous back in space, and definitely not.
To me, he should have stayed as Pittsburgh's number one last year. That even when Russ got healthy, they should have left Justin Fields, and he had a 4-2 record and played his ass off those 6 games. I think that he had a hell of a start, and they should have let him stay playing. They should have let the hot hand stay going. Because, Micah, you're going to have to wait. Because, going to Russ didn't work either, so. They were over by the bathroom. All right, dude, this is the last gummies, all right? I'm not giving any more. That's it. You didn't eat your dinner, so that's it. You did the other thing I asked you to do. That's why you're getting them. Yeah, hopefully everybody gets, healthy. I'm not for anybody getting hurt, really, in the NFL. That's just, I don't wish injuries upon nobody.
not a guy that you want to run commit left, and if they go right, you're done. Right, you're done. So Deuce Vaughn, definitely someone I want to keep up with, and I don't think he's, you know, necessarily a roster cut. This guy might make the team. Here's a clip I wanted to show you guys.
All right, and there again, I disagree. I think Deuce Vaughn will be on the practice squad. To me, because he is a failed experiment. We did his dad a favor. Chris Vaughn, he's a Cowboys scout. That's Deuce Vaughn's daddy. We did him a favor by drafting his son. And coming out of college, he did good in college. So I thought that at that point, I thought that that was a valuable pick. I thought that we could turn him into something. So far, it has panned out to be absolutely nothing. But that's just my opinion on Deuce. He obviously has not been following Deuce for the last couple of years because he had not mentioned any of the failed things from him.
Show you.
What? Show me what?
That big.
What, my babe?
Yeah.
What about it?
I want to show you.
What, that you know how to take it apart? Okay. All right, cool. But you don't need to be playing with it.
Whoa.
It's not a toy.
Whoa. Ooh, cool.
Their hopes are too high for what they got in Jacksonville. The 80s was before the Cowboys even became a dynasty. Huh? You do, Messi, you do understand that the Cowboys won the Super Bowl in 77 and in 72 as well, right? They became America's team in the 70s. You do understand that, right? Then it wasn't just the 90s. You also got to understand the Cowboys became a franchise in 1960. They won a Super Bowl in 77. They won a Super Bowl, I believe it was 71 and 77. That's not necessarily making them a dynasty because there's a 6-year span in between there. But at the end of the day, they still had 2 Super Bowls in the 70s decade. The 70s for the Cowboys were a good decade. The 90s was a good decade. Everything else has not been. They've been a very good team that has struggled in postseason games.
Go check out Calvin Watkins here on Twitter X. He also does a great job covering this.
If you ask me, the Jets haven't been popping since Joe Namath or Brandon Marshall has played for them, which Brandon Marshall played for him, I believe, in the 2010s. And Joe Namath was way back. No, just the 70s and the 90s, Messi. Here's their banners. You got 71, 77, 92, 93, 95. And had Jerry Jones not been a dumbass and fired his head coach after winning back-to-back Super Bowls because his ego was through the fucking roof, we probably would have won 94. We probably would have won in 96. So we could have had 5 Super Bowls in the 90s. But Jerry Jones wanted to have the credit, and Jimmy Johnson was getting all of it. So what did he do? He fired Jimmy Johnson. Then they lost the 94 in the championship game. I'm pretty sure they lost in the championship game in 1994. And then they went to the Super Bowl in 95. And then they lost again in 96 in the I can't remember exactly which game in the playoffs it was, but it was in the later end of the playoffs. Yeah. All right, well, you're going to have to hold on so I can get your chair. Watch out.
Apple.
Alright, get out of my seat. Come on, boy. Come on, move, go, please. Thank you. Alright. I believe the Cowboys will. I believe they will. I believe before 2030, the Cowboys will have their 6th Super Bowl. What year it has, I don't know. Could it be this year? Could it be next year? That I can't tell you. But Nemo, Jerry's already pretty much out of there. Jerry's already pretty much gone, buddy. Just so you know, Nemo, this is going to be the first year of the removal of Jerry Jones. His son has all started to go over. Obviously, while he's alive, he's still going to have his little hearsay, but Jerry Jones is not the one making all the decisions anymore. And it's clearly and blatantly obvious based on how our offseason has gone. Because if Jerry Jones was still making all the decisions, 90% of the offseason wouldn't have happened the way it did. The only thing that wouldn't have changed... All right, well, you can ask anybody in the house, or you can learn how to do it yourself. I think this one's dead. Yeah, it's dead. All right, so they died back-to-back days, if I'm not mistaken. They were back-to-back days. Yeah, and Jerry is older than both of them. Jerry Jones is older than Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne. They were in their 70s. Jerry's in his 80s. You just took your phone. Why did you put it... Boy. But yeah, Jerry Jones has started to take a backseat this year. He has already given his son... This year is the first year that Stephen Jones has the title of co-owner and has taken almost all of the media appearances without Jerry. The only time we have seen Jerry this offseason has been during press conferences. So the fallback of Jerry being all fully hands-on has already started. This is the first year of the start that Jerry Jones is falling back and letting people that know how to do the job better do the job. I'm not betting on how many years he has left or not. That's for one person and one person only. That's for the Lord above to decide. That ain't for me to decide. That ain't for y'all to decide. That's for the man upstairs to decide. But his health is already started slightly. You know, he ain't in like bad shape, but he's getting older, so he's getting to be able to do less. I don't necessarily wish death upon him. I just wish the control to come out from under him, and it has started to leak that way. Normally in the off season, we'll get Jerry Jones twice a week. He has radio podcasts and everything that he normally does. None of that happened this offseason. We didn't see Jerry Jones, but only on press conferences and only at the owners' meetings. We didn't see Jerry Jones on the news or on the radio talking about the Cowboys or eating squirrel brains. We didn't have that this offseason. All right, well, if you don't want them anymore, then put them on the table, bro. All right, well, ask Mama. Yeah, I mean, I'm not suffering, so it doesn't mean much. You gotta look at it like this, Messi. In the first 30 years of the Cowboys' existence, or in the first 35 years of the Cowboys' existence, they won 5 Super Bowls. No other team can say that. No other team can come out here and be like, in the first 30 years of our existence, we won 5 Super Bowls. No. It's been spread out across the 60 years that the Super Bowl has been around. I do think that we can be. Do I think that we will beat them? I don't know. I do think that we can beat them. Yes, and I will be betting for the Cowboys to beat them. So my prediction for week 1, yes, will be that the Cowboys win. 100%. Should the Eagles win? Yes. Do the Eagles normally start off slow, though? Yes. We'll just have to see. On paper, the Eagles should win week 1. They are the defending champions. They have their pedigree already laid out for them. The Cowboys do not. The Cowboys are coming off of a horrible season with tons of injuries, new coaches, tons of new players, pretty much a new team, a new culture. So the Eagles, as they are already established, should be able to beat the Cowboys. This should be a measuring stick game for the Cowboys. So, on paper, yes, the Eagles should win. But I think that the Cowboys have a hell of a chance of winning week 1. And if they do win week 1, I think it's very possible that the Eagles could also go 0-4. If you look at their schedule, it's not easy. What? Nobody's telling you to. Okay, then don't. Just watch your video, baby. Daddy's working. Okay? Well, when Mama comes down, she'll fill it. You just wait. Watch your video and stop being impatient. That is very true, Nemo. So messy. So messy. So the Jets, with their 1 Super Bowl, can make fun of teams that don't have Super Bowls, but the Cowboys with 5 can't? That logic seems flawed. All right, well, man, y'all stay blessed. We'll see you later, brother. No, but they did make it to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's rookie year, they made it to the Super Bowl. Can we not be yelling? Okay, well, you don't got to yell. All right, hold on 1 second. Damn kids upstairs yelling. Nothing. But no, yeah. So, I mean, hey. All right, 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't think the Steelers are going to do anything. I really don't. I was still mad as fuck. God damn, near broke my screen. Yeah, that was crazy. He got taken out by his own player, too. Hutchins got taken out by his own player and his momentum. Oh. What up, Didi? Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, he had a hell of a season. He had what, 6 sacks already? Now, granted, what, 4 of them were in one game and 2 of them were in another, and then there was what, 4 games that he didn't have a sack. Besides the point, he still had 6 sacks. So I mean, it still was a hell of a start to the season. I don't want it. The problem is they're throwing their money on a bunch of old people. They're throwing their money on a bunch of old players that aren't going to do shit for them. The Steelers are not going to win. I mean, they're going to win some games, obviously. They'll probably end up 500 or a game over or a game under 500 because that's the history of Tomlin, you know, the average coach that he is. Everybody says he's a coach that's never had a losing season. Yeah, but he's had a whole shit ton of average-ass seasons, which makes him an average-ass coach, in my opinion. Yeah, ain't nobody scared of Rodgers. Rodgers ain't been good for 2 years at least now. And put it on. Dude, you know how to do stuff, Micah. You can pull a blanket over your legs, boy. You know how to do that. I can't say that I do, and be honest with you, Didi. I can't say that I remember off the top of my head, and be honest with you. I've actually been dealing with a lot of things lately, especially this past week and a half. I've been having a lot of trouble myself this last week and a half. To be completely honest with y'all, I've been having a ton of trouble. But you know, if you see me having to stop and take a breath for a second, that's part of it. But it's all right. The Steelers set themselves up for failure. Yes, they have. Oh yes, I do remember about that. I thought he got okay. I thought he got the okay, Didi. I thought you said that he ended up getting the okay. Now he has to go back. Damn, that sucks. That sucks for your family, Didi. I thought you had previously said that he had gotten the okay of the NBA, but worse. Yeah, I can kind of say that. Man, that sucks, Didi. Well, I hope the best for him and for you guys. I should probably take this clip down. All right, so we've got sidetracked here a lot. Some by a little bit of the conversation, and some by my children. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get back into this. I'm gonna rewind the clip back about 10, 15 seconds to try to get a little riff on it, but. We're gonna go ahead and get back into
you
this.
want to run commit left, and if they go right,
you guys
done,
can
right?
hear
You're
it.
done. So Deuce Vaughn, definitely someone I want to keep up with, and I don't think he's, you know, necessarily a roster cut. This guy might make the team. Here's a clip I wanted to show you guys. Go check out Calvin Watkins here on Twitter. A great job covering this team. I wanted to show you from him because I love a bit of eye candy here with Cavante Turpin again. We're seeing if it's man-to-man coverage. We're going to end up coming right back to where we were, but this is all to show if it's man coverage, you have a guy rotate.
Yes, DD, they just acting out. They just acting out. That's all.
From here to there and then back over here. Well, perfect. Because now we have less of a body on this side when we do set up that. They say, okay, perfect, right? This guy rotates back over. They actually blitz off that weak side, which is perfect.
It's why the NFL doesn't have, well, I guess they do now. They have two teams that are in one city with LA, but the Chargers weren't that good in San Diego either. They ain't been good since LaDainian Tomlinson. In the Rams, they all right. They had that one success. They may be sleepers this year. The Rams may be a sleeper team this year.
For a screen, we dump it down. Now we have the number game. What I love about Jaden, he accelerates quickly, and once he gets in open space, he's also another tough to stop, right?
Number 9.
Again, once he hits that second level, good luck. Once he hits that second gear, good luck. And I hope Jaden Blue do this.
And agree. I do definitely disagree with his take. On Deuce Vaughn.
Running back room, I'm telling you, everybody's sleeping on him. Wake up, man. It's time to wake up. All right, here we go. Another tweet here by Joseph Hoyt.
Took me
Said,
out,
didn't catch it on video, but UDFA Zion Childress, guy that has been looking really good throughout all of rookie minicamp, OTAs, and mandatory minicamp already, just had a one-handed leaping interception on Joe Milton in the
There's
end
the
zone.
interception of one of them. There's been
Zion,
multiple.
man. Let's see.
Joe
Look at the safety room right now.
Milton
You have Donovan Wilson. You have
been a
Malik
lot
Cooker.
of them. Joe Milton. What I've heard from Joe Milton in training camp so far, you'll look and be like, "Oh, that's an amazing throw," and then the next, "Oh, that's an amazing interception." So it's been like this with Joe Milton in training camp. It's been. I still think that he's a very talented quarterback. He has a bright future ahead of him, and I think that if Dak got injured, there is that possibility that he could Dak.
They have wanted Thomas. You got Israel still, Marquise Bell, and they got a lot of guys here. But Zion Childress could be.
Yeah, because they lost to us, Messi. They lost to us, and it's all right though.
Making a name for himself here in training camp. Here, okay, we talked about Donovan E earlier. Let's talk about him again. Right now we see, I believe that's Javonte Williams in the backfield. Look at this. Look at Donovan E.
Yes, it's Javonte Williams in the background in the backfield because he's the number 1 starting running back. You see Dak Prescott there. That's obviously going to be the starting offense. So Deuce Vaughn will not be on the number 1's practice field. He'll be on the number 3's practice field.
Explodes off the edge. We talked about his ability to bull rush earlier, power. Now he's using speed to bend around the edge, gets a would-be sack here on Dak Prescott. Now, when you are in these moments, quarterbacks should talk to just, hey, get the ball out anyway, right? Throw the ball. So ultimately, this would have been a sack, but he ends up throwing the ball, forcing it in there anyway, and look at this. Woo! One-handed snag out of the air by Malik Hooker, trying to target George Pickens in the back of the end zone. Just a great play overall. Man, defense goes wild. I mean, look at DeMarvion, dude. Look at him. Look at him in the back of the end zone here. Look at him. He is hyped. He is hyped for his boys out here. Hey, that's a teammate.
That defense
that is a
has
teammate
been
right
getting
there.
tons of ITs
That is
this
a
offseason.
teammate right there. Okay.
And look at
Guys,
Overshawn.
Another insane play. That's a teammate right there.
That is Agent Zero running on the. That is Agent Zero running down the field. In training camp, this man just had an ACL, an MCL, and a PCL tear. He had the trifecta. He had all three. He had to have surgery on both knees to repair the one knee. They had to literally take ligaments out of one knee to move them over to the other knee. A couple months ago, this man is running down the damn field like he didn't just have knee surgery. I love to see it. But stay safe, Overshawn. You my favorite player, brother. You my favorite player. So please stay safe. Please stay safe and don't get hurt.
That is a teammate.
Williams don't have to be enough. If you understand the Cowboys, you're going to understand that they're going to be a balanced team. So it's not going to be only running. And we do have Miles Sanders, Javonte, Jadon Blue, and Phil Maffa. Phil Maffa is a powerhouse. Phil Maffa is somebody that is going to look for the contact and embrace it. I love their coach. I love the Chargers coach.
Right there, okay?
I like
guys,
both
another
hardballs.
insane play. For everyone who thinks Joe Milton isn't a threat.
Running back is important. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. But I think you're sleeping on Javonte Williams a little bit. As I was too. Yes, it was. You give it more than a second. Don't be wiggling my damn Chargers. You ain't breaking my shit like you broke yours. Dan Campbell is not the best. I'm sorry. Andy Reid, I would have to say, is the best right now. Andy Reid's the best. I would then put John Harbaugh over Jim. And then I love Jim Harbaugh, but he's still got lots to prove. We're not dependent on only the passing game, but the running game has a lot that's based off of the offensive line. The game is won in the trenches, Nemo. If the offensive line can win in the trenches, as long as the running back is decent, we'll be all right. I said John is better than Jim. Jim had a great run in San Francisco, too, before he went back to college. But the Colin Kaepernick experiment failed. But he was still there. He still made it to the Super Bowl. Williams is not below average. You need to go back and watch again. The problem with Williams was when he was on the Bears, one, the Bears sucked, and two, he was hurt. We now have a healthy Javonte Williams with a better offense and a better offensive line than what the Bears had. The Bears had trash, which probably is what led to Javonte Williams getting hurt. Oh, they love each other. They love each other, Messi. Don't get it twisted. But the competition between the both of them, the relationship is solid. But the competitiveness between brothers is through the roof. Dude, he was on the Bears. The whole team hasn't done shit, Nemo. What have the Bears done? The Bears had one of the worst O-lines in the NFL last year. Literally had one of the worst O-lines in the NFL last year. What up, Shroom? That's a false statement in the second half, though. He was tied to lead the league in interceptions only one time. One time in his career. What up, Walt? What's good? What's good? Dak Prescott is not an interception-prone quarterback. Y'all watched the playoffs, and y'all saw him throw interceptions in the playoffs, and that's what y'all are basing it on. Y'all, people that say that are people that obviously don't watch Cowboy games. Y'all watched the playoffs because those were nationally televised games when there was nothing else on to watch, and y'all saw him throw interceptions there, and then decided to consider him dude, his interception to touchdown ratio is not worse than the majority of the league. So, and I'm not worried about Dak. There's only 5 fucking quarterbacks in the NFL that are elite. The rest of them are just average or just slightly better than average. There's only 5 quarterbacks. No, Dak's not one of them. But there's, 27 teams that don't have an elite quarterback out of 32? What up, John Doe? Hey, that's your opinion, bro. I'm not a Dak fan or a Dak apologist. I support the man because he's on my team. He's not my favorite quarterback. He's not my best friend. He's not my brother. But he is my quarterback, so I will defend him to that extent. But I'm not a Dak fan. So all the Dak hate, y'all need to go save that for Mark Holmes or someone that is a Dak apologist. Like, I'm not that. I don't care. But he's not interception prone like a lot of people proclaim that haven't watched many of his football games. Nemo, Goff and Prescott are about the same. And Jaden and Herbert, Jaden had a hell of a rookie year. But that doesn't mean he's going to have the same following. And Herbert has not done shit in his career. Herbert has done nothing in his career. So to give Herbert any kind of credence over Dak is crazy. That man literally has done nothing. Like, nothing. If you ever, John Doe, if you're here on Sunday when I do the Sunday show, you'll see who Mark Holmes is. I'll be on a podcast and a Zoom call with Mark Holmes will be there, along with other NFC teams and fans. Herbert has nothing. Period. All Dak had last year was CeeDee Lamb. It was Dak and CD until Dak got hurt. What do you mean? You could say the same about Dak. He's had CD. Who else? Who else? When has he had multiple receivers that were good. Dak had CD and then a bunch of 3 and 4 wide receivers. Hey, that's your opinion, John. You can have it all you want. I'm getting back into the video.
I don't want to say a threat, but someone that's going to push Dak Prescott to actually need to play better. Dude, Joe Milton is a beast. Look at this play. Again, I get it. It's the twos, but we're going to bootleg out to this right side or central.
Brandon Cooks never got more than 600 yards. Tell me where that's a good stat in the NFL. I'll wait. Michael Gallup did what? Michael Gallup did what? Quit? Yeah, Michael Gallup's a quitter. And now he wants to come back. Good for him. Who's your team, Rondo?
Okay, so after this play action fake, we're getting everybody rotating in this direction. Okay, now whenever you run a bootleg, you're essentially cutting your field down into, let's say, a third, maybe a half, depending on how good the quarterback is, right? Now,
well, this year, when our number 2 wide receiver also has 1,000 yards, 600's not good. 600's not good as a number 2 even. You understand that they have 17 games to play. Our tight end was getting more yards than Brandon Cooks. He was 600 yards being good as a number 2. Why did the Eagles have almost 2,000-yard receivers if 600 yards is good enough? Oh, so you're just a Cowboy fan that hates on your own players? Okay, that's cool. Why do you hate on your own players, bro? That's counterproductive. To me, rooting for your own players to have a downfall is rooting against your own team. What do you mean I proved your point? No, I did not. You must be illiterate.
Legs off the play action, right? All your
Brandon Cooks was burnt toast. Burnt toast. Michael Gallup had 1 good year. Besides that, burnt toast. What point
are either crossers, comebacks, shallow crossers, skinny posts, posts, right?
Every quarterback has multiple receivers, but that doesn't mean all them receivers are good. Brandon Cooks barely made it to wide receiver for the Cowboys. Cooks to begin with. I can tell you that much. Because I thought anything that Brandon Cooks can do, Turpin can do. And better. Because he's younger and faster than Brandon Cooks.
Maybe Ziggs. Look at this throw. Look at this throw. I mean, that is a missile to Kamate Turpin. His
and I said what I said.
Feet aren't even planted. Watch this thing one more time. Oh my lord.
You name calling people on your own team. When you start hating on your own team.
I'm telling you, this dude is just a little bit different.
Joe Milton.
Dude, I like Joe Milton a lot, man. I like Joe Milton a lot.
Good touchdown.
I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about him. But I think he's actually got...
Yeah, Michael Gallup had 1 or 2 decent years. 700 to me is not that great. 800's just now getting good.
got some real upside as a quarterback in the NFL. Okay, another guy that they've loved defensively here is Jack Sanborn. He makes a great play here. Obviously, they're not allowed to tackle, but this is a would.
What Michael Gallup
tackle.
was good at was 50-50 balls and sideline balls, like catching toe taps. And then he got hurt, and then he was never the same. He quit. Now he's just saying what he sees in training camp. I don't think he wants over Dak. Anybody that has any kind of common sense would not want Milton to start over Dak Prescott.
Miles Sanders in the backfield here. They handed off.
I'm about positive Milton has also thrown more interceptions in training camp than he has touchdowns.
Off to him, Jack
No, I
Sanborn
get mad.
today.
I don't get mad.
Hits the hole quick.
I call out when people lie. If you lie on him, I'm going to call it out. If it's true, then it's true.
He's decisive.
They're yelling at Dak. If you're here throughout the season, you'll probably...
Instinctual guy I really like here, to be honest, alongside Kenneth Murray. And once DeMarvion's back, this linebacker core is actually going to be... So, again, another great play here. I think I'm going to end the video here. But, again, telling you, go follow Joseph Hoyt and all the other guys I have listed on the screen. There's probably so many more plays that you guys can watch. Okay? So go check those out if you haven't already done so. I may put one more clip in here. I might not. We'll see what happens. But if I do leave...
Because I'm not a liar.
I decided to put one more in, boys. So we get another one here. Dak.
And you will learn, John Doe, since you're new here.
CeeDee Lamb. The reason I want to show is because, man, this dude is quick, elusive, stops on a dime. Boom, get out there. But so dynamic. I love CeeDee Lamb. I feel like it's not a Cowboys video if I don't show CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, haven't showed a little bit of George Pickens either, but hopefully, again, go check out the other reporters. They'll probably have a lot more, and there'll probably be some George Pickens catches in there. So now, peace.
Dak's past season says that he got hurt. Dak also, the season before that, was the runner-up MVP, second-team All-Pro. Who are the Cowboys going to put at quarterback, realistically, that's going to play better than Dak right now? What quarterback is the Cowboys going to pick up? All right, so say the Cowboys get rid of Dak Prescott right now. Who the fuck is going to play quarterback for the Cowboys that would have done a better job this year? That the Cowboys have the ability to be able to bring in? Yes, Shroom, I will stream the Hall of Fame game. Yeah, Milton can throw the ball 80 yards. But he's thrown the ball to our defense more than he's thrown it to our offense all training camp. He has some hell of a good throws, and then he has some hell of a what the fuck were you thinking throws. That's not this year. And who said Arch Manning's going into the draft next year? He hasn't even had a full season in college yet. As if Arch Manning does have a good season this year. I'm actually an Arch Manning fan. I like the Texas Longhorns. If he has a good season this year, for the whole season, because he played, 6 games? He played, what, 6 games last year? People crowned him over 6 games, which is ridiculous. He played good. I thought he did a hell of a job those 6 games. That's fine. You can be ready for that. The Cowboys aren't. So you're going to have to learn to accept him or just not watch. You're going to have to learn to accept him or just not watch. Dak Prescott is the Cowboys quarterback for the next couple of years or until he gets hurt. So, but to me, if you're literally rooting against the players on your own team, you're no more than a troll rooting against your team. Like, that's counterproductive. I'm not from Texas, nor do I need to be. All that name does is win. Do you not know fucking Eli Manning? Yeah, he's got 2 Super Bowls. But he didn't only win. Eli Manning was not that great of a quarterback. Okay, cool. I'm glad you're from Arlington. I'm proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
to me, that doesn't mean shit.
Every Fortnite player thinks they just got scammed, because if you try to play on Friday night, you...
Alright, that's not what I'm fucking getting into. I was trying to go back to what I had pulled up. Peace. Of course he does, Noah. Of course he does. That's why he's here. No, he's here because Carnage probably told him about us. If his logic is the same as Carnage's, though, he might as well. Got a little VOCH Lombardi here. All right, so shout outs to VOCH Lombardi and Brian brought us for this next clip that we're going to bring in. And if y'all like this content, go check them out. There are 2, well, VOCH Lombardi is probably one of the best Cowboys breakdown people in YouTube. All right, let me get the clip back up.
Jones's tower out in the distance. There's a golf course over here. I'm in this elevated suite space, Brian, bro. What they say this is the Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel section
so
that I'm sitting in right now, kind of elevated, looking like fruit, Brian. Is that shot, Brian? But right. Today, what I was able.
All right, so these are 2. All right, so VOCH Lombardi, the guy on the left, is someone that started out on YouTube this year. He has made it to now he is actually in the Cowboys facility doing reporting on the Cowboys as well. Brian Broaddus is Super Bowl winning journalist, Super Bowl winning damn. Scout that has been in the Cowboys building for probably 30 years. Both of them are very good at what they do. And if y'all like this content, go check them out. VOCH Lombardi, Brian Broaddus.
Able to see Brian Broaddus with that fight, with that little skirmish on
What
that
up,
sideline
Daniel?
I
What
was
up?
standing
What up?
on, Brian. Shoddy stopped practice, turned the music down. NBA YoungBoy, who it was, he turned the music down and he loudly reprimanded his football team, Brian Broaddus. There was some cuss words. There was some finger waving. You're moving with your uncle and auntie in Bel Air, finger waving, and the music was down. And it said, "Hey man, we not gonna have none of that. And if I see it again, you're getting sent home." More so in the way of, we want this intense practice, but y'all need to be focused with that energy. Now go back out there and get the practice, and they line back up and they cut NBA YoungBoy right back up, Brian Broaddus. So not more so about the fight that's important to me. I don't care about the fight. That's low hanging fruit. But Shoddy, the disciplined guy, and his balance from being like player guy.
Yeah, I think today, he likes the physicality of his practice. That's what he's trying to get out of it. He likes what he sees, with his players flying around and trying to get to the ball and finish and all that. That's big. The thing he didn't like was Sam Williams taking a swing, and hitting another one of his teammates in the back of the neck, and that teammate kind of taking a knee for a little bit. He didn't like that.
Troy Pride.
Troy Pride got hit, and then Troy Pride was, and it had to kind of, he weren't able to continue practice at that point because he got hit. But then, later he was okay.
Yeah, I was a no-show.
That's the thing I think that set Schottenheimer off.
Hold on. I did show up. Actually, I did show up. That's fine though. Because yes, due to my job, I did have to miss a portion of my show because I was on call, and as soon as I hit the live button, I had to go on a job. I kept contact with the chat. I then popped on live on my way home to let people know that I was 15 minutes out. 15 minutes got up. I got home. I jumped on the live stream. I reacted to the main event of Friday Night SmackDown, and then I went and reacted to highlights of Friday Night SmackDown. I stayed on an hour and a half or an hour past the SmackDown show ending and tried to bring back some of the show. But I definitely didn't just no show. I was late as fuck. I was definitely late as fuck. But that's not something that generally happens. All right, dude. Huh? This? This? What are you talking about? These are fingernail clippers. You don't need these. You need to sit down before you fall down. Come on. This? The dinosaur? All right, well, sit down so you don't fall. Please, sit down. Cool. Probably anything he told you was a lie. Probably anything and everything. Maybe, Shroom. Maybe, but the last time WWE brought him out, the whole stadium booed him. So I don't know if they will or not. They probably will have some kind of tribute, I would assume. But I don't know to the extent. I would imagine that they're going to have some type of tribute for him. But I don't know to the extent, because literally the last time they brought him out, which was the Netflix premiere, he got booed out of the building. So we'll just have to see. I'm sure that they're going to have some type of tribute, whether it's him being popped up on the screen in a tribute song, some highlights. But I don't think that they're going to I don't think that they're gonna create the show around a tribute or anything like that. Yeah, I do WWE and I do Cowboys, but it's not just Cowboys. I do NFL. I'm a Cowboys fan, and I've been a Cowboys fan since 1992. To me, Hulk Hogan was more. It's hard to say because a lot of his stuff was like when SmackDown and Raw thing started, he was kind of in WCW at that time, and then kind of came back after Vince bought it. And no, I didn't mean he like literally lied. I was just saying. But and then after he came back from when Vince bought WCW, then I don't really know. I think he was probably more on SmackDown. I don't know. That's false. But that's your opinion, Noah. That's fine. To me, Hulk Hogan was great when I was a kid, but he also ruined his legacy. Yeah, your red one's here. You need to get back in your chair. Mello's not gonna get you. No, I did. I'll put him in his cage. Come here. Why are you out front? Huh? You don't belong out front. Now I gotta figure out what part of the fence you got out of. Alright, your chair. Sorry guys, I'm in a little bit of pain. But I'll push through. I'll push through. He didn't make WWE for one. He was barely a part of WWE. He was a part of WWF. And yes, in the beginning stages. All right, so Hulk Hogan. All right, so when I was younger, I thought Hulk Hogan was great. I thought the Ultimate Warrior were great. As I got older and as I learned more about them, and I realized how much both of them were frauds, and realized how much of a piece of a shit Hulk Hogan was as a person, I stopped giving a fuck about him. To me, the piece of shit that he's been as a person, to his wife, to his daughter, to his fans, had this man just been honest with himself and honest with the people, maybe he would be seen in a different light. But this man tried to lie to everybody, tried to convince everybody that he was telling the truth. He also tried to bury The Undertaker and ruin The Undertaker's career. Like, this dude is a fraud. He faked an injury to try and ruin The Undertaker's career. It's sad, Shroom, that that's the match you're claiming to be his best match, and that was at the end of his career. I would have said more along the lines of WrestleMania 3 with the Andre the Giant slam, but that's my opinion. I grew up watching that shit on VHS. You're saying Hulk Hogan's best match was when he was in his 50s or 60s? And Shawn Michaels carried that match. Shawn Michaels carried that match. Rocky Balboa is not a wrestler. No. People don't criticize him for making mistakes. That's not the truth, Nessie. That's not the truth. Everybody makes mistakes. He tried to lie and cover it up. All right, this dude sexualized his daughter. Treated his wife like shit. And tried to hold talent down. Tried to end The Undertaker's career by faking an injury. To me, he tarnished his own name. Had this man been honest with himself, the exception of him would probably been a lot higher. The people that don't care for him probably would have still cared for him. Had he just been open and honest instead of trying to lie and cheat and lie and lie and lie. You want what? I don't know what you're saying. You got to say it without all the extra. See, you're using extra. Say it slow and normal. I don't know what you're saying, Micah. So you got to say it differently. Without the whiny voice and without the yell voice. So what do you want me to put on? You can't whisper it either. I can't hear a whisper. Who is that? I don't know what that is, Micah. Well, here. If you found it, here. Which video was it? Stop whining. Show me the video so I can type it in. Which video did you push? Which one? All right, come on. You just had the video. So it was up here. Which video did you pick? Micah, you need to show me. What show is this person on? Do you have the toy? Do you have a toy of it? Go get the toy if you have the toy.
Get one.
This one?
Yeah.
Fizz?
No, what is Dino? What is Dino? We picked. We picked that one. It was it.
All right. Well, here, get up in your chair.
Now.
Huh? That's what you picked. Rory?
No.
You want Rory?
No.
Finding Dory?
No.
Dude, I don't know what you're saying.
No. Well,
Dude, if I don't know what you're saying, I can't type it in. So you're just going to have to find something else.
no.
That's not even what I'm talking about, Nemo. I'm not talking about the one word that he said. Dude, I don't. You're gonna have to go upstairs with Mama because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No one get your wallet.
Do you have the toy? If you have the toy, go get it and show it to me so I know what you're saying. Because it sounds like you're saying Ginger Rory.
No.
Exactly.
No. They are in my ear.
And you're distracting me from what I'm trying to do. So I don't know what you're wanting. I don't know what Ginger Rory is. Because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
No.
Finding Dory?
No.
Well, dude, what do you want? Huh? I don't know what that is. Do you have a toy of it? Go get the toy and show me, and I'll type it in. Because I don't know what you're saying. Nemo is from Baltimore. He's 3. He can't read a book. And it's bedtime. My kids play outside all day. But it's almost 10 o'clock at night, so my kids don't need to be outside right now. But my kids are always outside. They just aren't outside at 10 o'clock at night. All right, we're going to get back into this now that everything's been way sidetracked.
The players going at it and being competitive. The fact when you swing at somebody and you hit somebody and then that player, gets injured, you always worry about players getting in these fights or taking a swing at somebody and they take their fist and they hit somebody and the next thing they get a broken fist and now they're out. They can't, that's the thing. And then you're absolutely right. The choice words where he dropped a couple of F-bombs on him. And basically told him, like, we're not going to be doing it this way. So, he had a problem. He doesn't have a problem with the physicality. He doesn't have the problem with the pace of the practice. He's trying to get his team a little bit better conditioned. But when he started to see people swing at each other, then that's where he had enough.
Brian, I thought something was pretty interesting today. This is the second time I've gotten a chance to see practice, and we've made comments about the energy at practice. There's literally, Brian, I think coaches that are hired to run sprints. After something happens, after like a big play happens, there's coaches that are hired to run sprints to that play. Like the energy's up. What I've noticed the last 2 days, Brian, is maybe the offense starts out really well, but the defense has the endurance of the practice. The defense shows more endurance at the practice. See, the offense may start off better. They may start off in a rhythm, throwing it around. But at the end of the day, the defense always kind of wins in the end. They're flying around and they're getting turnovers. We actually got a chance to talk to Kenneth Murray today over there in the media scrum. I don't know if this video was out, but Kenneth Murray mentioned it, but also Shotty mentioned it earlier, is that the defense is going to have the emphasis on taking the football away. And Murray mentioned that Eberflus wanted 40-plus takeaways on the year. 40-plus. And, Brian, if you play how you practice, it seems like the defense is in line with that because they've been taking the football away day 1 and day 2.
No.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right about that. I think today the defense actually had the better of the day. I didn't feel like today that the offense ran the ball with any effectiveness that they did yesterday. There were a couple of plays where, it got bounced outside and Turpin, a couple of edge runs. But other than that, there was some big holes. And I know they're not in pads and all that. And it's 2 steps and push and all that. But, yesterday it was clear that the offense, I felt like, was winning a little bit up front. And, they were a little bit better running the ball. Today, I didn't feel that. I felt like the defense, I think that Schottenheimer's, I think with Eberflus's, I think they're working a little bit more on playing a little bit of slant front, where they were trying to kind of like, you know, if they're going to be a little lighter, a little smaller.
And find a different one. Because I thought they were going to show clips of training camp, and they're clearly not doing that. They're just talking about the standouts and stuff. All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we'll react to...
Batman. No, Batman. No, Batman. No, Batman. No, Batman.
All right, I got it, dude. Here.
Batman.
Dude, I typed in Batman, bro. You hit the wrong button. This will be the last one I type in for you. After that, you're either going to figure it out or go to bed. Yeah. Oh, fuck. All I drank was water unless it's homemade smoothie. I drank coffee and water. And every now and then I'll drink like a tea. But that's all I drink. I don't drink soda. All right, so get into this. This is a Dak Prescott interview. It's not really what I'm looking for. We'll check out this guy. This is a short video.
All right, Cowboys Nation, the wait is over. We are live and buzzing from Oxnard, California, where the Dallas Cowboys training camp for 2025 is officially underway. Fans, let me tell you, the vibes here are fire. We got sunny skies, ocean breeze, and the unmistakable hum of football energy. Dak Prescott is back and looking sharp. Micah Parsons showed up today, even though there are some tension around his contract. And the drills, high tempo. You can feel the win now mentality that Jerry Jones was talking about earlier. Yes. But let's give you a little recap of what happened here on day one of camp. Today's camp had a little bit of everything, and some things I definitely didn't expect. First off, Dak Prescott and George Pickens, that connection looked legit. They were on the same page the whole time, linking up multiple times like they've been playing together for years. Micah Parsons was all over the field today. Even with that extension still unsigned, you'd never know it. He was active, locked in, and making his presence felt on nearly every rep. Now here's where it got weird. Camp actually opened with Joe Milton throwing passes to Dak, who lined up at wide receiver. Yeah, Prescott at wideout. They ran that for a solid 10 minutes, and it looked intentional. Maybe a red zone special. Whatever it is, they're cooking something. Jaden Blue was the standout at running back. Explosive, quick, and constantly finding space. Honestly, he looked better than anyone else in that group today, except maybe Miles Sanders, who was right behind him. CeeDee Lamb was, well, CeeDee Lamb always standing out, always electric. And Brandon Aubrey, smooth. His kicks looked like butter, just automatic. The vibe, chill, happy, and honestly pretty light. Tuesday crowds are usually thin, and today was no different, but it didn't take away from the energy. Guys were smiling. Shotty looked like he had full control of practice and post-practice.
But we ain't doing this logic of, oh, where you live is the team you have to like, because that shit's false as hell. That ain't got shit to do with it. You understand that as an NFL team, they travel to 31 other states and cities, right? You understand that in those 31 other states and cities, they're going to build a fan base in those cities. So there's going to be fans in all of those cities of the team that comes there as an away team. So to say that you can only be a fan of the team that plays in the stadium that you live near is garbage and flawed logic.
I saw more autographs being signed than at any other training camp I've been to. Everyone just looked genuinely glad to have football back. Whether you're a diehard fan or just bringing the kids for their first taste of football, this is where Cowboys memories are made. For more information on Dallas Cowboys training camp here in Oxnard, California, info.
All right. right, so he gave a little insight on training camp for yesterday. It's only a 2-minute video, though. And watch a little bit of what Brian Schottenheimer had to say
No,
today.
here's the deal. I definitely will not. My wife was already on me last night about a few things I said. Here's the deal. I love the intensity. You know, I love the intensity. These guys are working their asses off. I love that. But again, like we've talked about, there's a tempo that we discuss every day. We've talked about it multiple times. There's going to be those events that happen during a game. If you
What? The logic of you thinking that you can only be a fan of the team of the city you live in is flawed. If you feel that way, you might as well go somewhere else.
throw a punch, you're getting kicked out of the game. And along with that, you're getting fined about $45,000. So do we...
Because coming into a channel like this where I invite fans from all teams is going to say that there's going to be a lot of people that are fans of teams and states that they don't live in.
have the discipline to, when those things happen,
there's going to be
not
lots
only
of
not
them.
throw a punch, but sometimes it's better to go and grab your own guy. Go and grab your player, your
And that's the last thing I care about seeing trolled about.
brother, and pull him out of the fray so he doesn't do anything messed up. But I love the way they're practicing, but it went too far. And I had warned them before, and I've made it very clear. We're not throwing punches. If you throw a punch, there's going to be a consequence, just like in a game, and you're out of practice. So.
Outside of the fight, I know the first practice you weren't too happy. Was the second practice better to your liking outside of the fight?
Yeah, we talked about that. I thought the energy in the second practice was excellent. I thought the running was the standard that we're looking for. They ran, which was really great to see, but it was clearly different. So is that part of the ramp up? Is that them kind of getting their legs up underneath them a little bit? But again, we show the good, we show the bad, we talk about that, and we make it very clear to them, hey, this was successful, this wasn't, this was to the standard, this wasn't, and yesterday was much better.
You still down here, Lisa?
The LLS Cowboys, is that
Lisa.
a fine line? Because you said earlier you want a physical ass camp, and you got to compete every day. And
Who's
you
in the
gotta
fridge?
compete with jobs and roles, and so there gonna be some intensity. You want the intensity just to
Why is the
win not
fridge
to cross
open?
the line.
Oh, you, me, Mom, Mom, get it. Mom, not, Mom, God, Mom, God, Mom, up there.
All right, get out of my chair.
Mom, up there.
Get in your chair.
Mom, up there.
Sorry, guys. I got to heat up my heating pack real quick. I'll be right back. I just got to heat up my heating pack.
Yeah, like a second.
And Shroom, he's way better than Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett can't talk football. All right. All right, I'm back. Baltimore was my first team. I'm gonna stick with them.
Talking to them about it.
Yeah, and again, like we teach it, you know, as we're looking at this, Clarence, like yesterday we were in helmets. So when you're in helmets, you're a little bit smarter. You want to be smarter because if the guys fall and things like that, right, you worry about guys just falling on shoulders and things like that. Sometimes it's going to happen. Like we were running a game yesterday in one of the team periods, and it was a TE game, and the lineman was blocking the guy, and they kind of stumbled into each other. That happens. Today we'll have the soft spiders on. We'll have the shells. So you'll see it turn up even a little bit more. The receivers and DBs will be a little bit more combative. We call it play the ball live. You know, we call it bust the triangle on defense. And but these guys have been amazing. Anything we've asked, they've done. And the excitement and the buildup of wanting.
But shit talking about like where they're from based off the team that they should like, to me that's garbage. That's not football talk. That's trash talk. That just trash talk.
To be in pads, like they've been practicing for a while, and I love that competitive nature. It just can't get into.
It's one of the most pointless conversations all you can have is, oh, you shouldn't be a fan of someone because you don't live there, you're not from there. To me, that's the most pointless conversation you could have in football.
Where we're throwing punches and hitting people and things like that.
Brian, Todd Archer with ESPN. Pre-practice, players are stretching. We see you go around, but it looks like every coach goes to every player.
You're just a visitor here. You're just a visitor here, John Doe.
The reason behind that.
So if you watch it, it's what we try to do is it's a brotherhood, it's a fellowship. When we do the stretch, offensive coaches go to the defensive players. Defensive coaches go.
Like I said, if you come here and you're using Carnage's logic, you might as well go with Carnage.
Go to the offensive players, and they get a chance to visit and talk a little bit of shit, have some fun, but connect. And
I really don't know why he is referring people to here if he's not even here to begin with. Like, why would you refer someone to a place that you don't go?
Again, we're all in this thing together. It's going to take all 90 guys and all 24 staff members that we have, and that is done on purpose. The other thing you'll see is everybody touches the ball. We're all about the ball, so it doesn't matter whether it's the O-line, the D-line, the receivers. When they're coming back from the second part of the stretch, everybody's catching a ball and having to secure it. Why? Because at some point they're all going to be touching the ball in the course of a game, and we want them comfortable with that. So there's ways to get through stretch and have multiple things done, and that's what we're trying to do.
You used the phrase a second ago. Can you explain bust the triangle? Like what's the coaching point there?
Yeah, so when a receiver extends to make the play, right? This is what's the triangle. When you put your hands together, that's the triangle. So if you're throwing me a ball, that's the triangle. What the DB's taught is he's playing the defender, the man, and once the ball starts to go and the receiver starts to raise his hands, his job is to bust the triangle, break up the hands, because if my hands aren't together, then obviously I can't.
I'm not saying you have, Ben.
So it's a very specific coaching point that you'll see our guys, DA and Andre Curtis, do a great job of teaching that. And there was a great clip yesterday with the Booth on Pickens. That was busting the triangle. Now, he wasn't supposed to do that yesterday because we were in helmets. But today, all that stuff is good, and great example of what busting triangle is.
George Pickens went down, looked like it was just some cramping, but you expect him to be full go today?
Yeah, I think it was just a cramp. But again, like I said yesterday, with all the injuries, I leave this deal and I go talk to the guys. I kind of know what the practice is. It's 3 days in a row, so we'll see. I'll have a lot more information, but it appeared to be just a cramp.
Do you expect Ron Bland to be back today?
I don't think so. He's dealing with a personal issue with his wife, getting ready to have a baby, and so obviously excited and praying all great wishes for he and his family.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. When you look at this running back situation and just kind of like how you're building a roster, do you see an offense where you have to have two backs philosophy-wise for these guys to be fresh throughout a game? Or do you even see it?
I don't really care for how he thinks.
Yeah, again,
he's overly opinionated.
We probably played too much into this last year.
Opinions are like assholes.
Myself and Mike in terms of running back by committee, and look, at the end of the day, it's early. If we have a guy that clearly wins the starting job, then he'll be the starting guy. Is he the bell cow? Like, there's all these cool words that go with, oh, he's a bell cow, or he's the man, he's the stud, or whatever. Let's let these guys compete, and it does take more than one. It usually takes more than two. You talk about, Hunter Lepke, is he one of the two? Well, shit, he plays a bunch of football for us, and really, really like the young guys that we drafted. I talked about Jaden the other day, Phil Maffa. I just didn't see him in the spring, and now I'm seeing him. I really like what I see. He's doing a great job. So we're not ready. We're a long ways away, and love that you asked the question, but we're a long way from knowing what this is going to look like. And in a 22-game season, whatever it ends up looking like, you know, you're going to need all those bodies.
Wildcat yesterday. Has Micah Parsons come up to you yet?
Yeah, Micah, about Wildcat, I can't tell you guys who the Wildcat quarterback is.
I've been in multiple
What if it was
cities,
BB? Maybe it was Cooper
states.
BB that wanted to be. I mean, he is a
I've
Wildcat,
been a
Kansas
fan
State.
of none of their teams. And when I was
I think
born
Philly's
here,
drawing that up. Coach
became a
Fangio is
fan
drawing
of
that up
Dallas
with Cooper Beebe
Cowboys.
back there and
There
Dak snapping
was
it to
no
him.
team here.
We're not
Just
doing that,
because
Vic.
a
Don't worry about
team
it.
developed here a few years later doesn't mean I'm gonna
Cowboys.com. It seems like even going back
If
to
y'all are
OTAs,
flip-flop,
THIER
then you can
Elam's
be a
kind of been
flip-flop.
all over
I'm
the
not a
place and making
flip-flop.
plays. With the amount of injuries that you
chose
guys have
to
at the
love the
quarterback
team that I fell
position,
in love with.
how welcome
92,
has that
and
been?
I've been a fan
you know,
of him
to have
ever
him
since.
seemingly getting
That
more
shit ain't
comfortable on a
changing.
fresh start.
Yeah,
will it?
confident, man. He's playing with a lot of confidence. You watch him, just the way he's reading splits. You know, he plays the game the right way. He studies. He's on top of splits awareness and relating to receivers based on their split. If the guy's outside and he's like 4 yards outside, he moves inside, and all things that a veteran.
That's false, Noah. That's false. False as hell. You're trying to tell me that people from another state can't feel the emotions of winning a championship because they don't live in the city that their team won? Yeah, 92. The Panthers became a team in 94. The 92 Super Bowl of the Dallas Cowboys is what made me a fan. That's when I became a fan. Yeah, okay, so I was a bandwagon fan in 92. What the fuck you going to say about the last 30 years, though? I saw all 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. But what about since then? I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm tired of hearing where you're from. You know what? Because I don't give a fuck where nobody's from or where any team is from. I love the team I love, and that doesn't make me more or less of a fan than anybody else.
And player do, which Kyer's not
That shit
young,
is
but
flawed
again, he hasn't played for 10
logic.
years. So I just think he's playing with a ton of confidence. He's getting his hands on the ball. Great interception yesterday. So I think he's playing with a lot of confidence, playing at a high level, and of course that's good for us. We've known about Kyer for a while. He's a Gator. I mean, you know,
I wouldn't have 2 kids named after Cowboy players if I wasn't a fan. Man, soccer's dumb as hell to begin with.
known about him for a while. I know his dad, and so I'm really excited for him. But again, it's picking up. We got pads coming on, and but so far it's been great.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Matty Eberflus is kind of known externally as a guy who didn't like the blitz very much, but you kind of look at his blitz rates over the years, they've kind of increased. Have you seen like a Matty Eberflus that's kind of embracing more blitz?
No, I think what makes me a fan is what I have in my heart.
You went up against him in Indy?
Well, we had to move the ball period yesterday, call period, and he definitely adopted that. I was talking to Dorsey. I was like, damn, is he blitzing us every play? And they've got some really good things in. I think what Flus, his belief is, which I agree with, if you can get home with 4,
I don't
that's
care
great.
about the money.
If you're struggling to get home with 4, or if teams are trying to max protect, which we're going to get a lot of chip help on the edge.
To me, soccer is boring as hell to watch.
Is to try to knock it, then blitzes become more important. So there's no question in my mind that we've got the balance that we can go attack people with 4-man rush and not have to bring an extra rusher. But we also have some exotics that have been extremely difficult for us to pick up. And
right in my mind.
Again, he'll dial them up at the right time.
To it there, but how has just the chess match been between you guys so far, even just a couple of practices in? How important is it to be organic in that regard even now?
It's been awesome. Again, I have a ton of respect, not just for Matt, but his whole staff. And, Andre Curtis and I, we go back to Seattle together.
Man, if you got something to say about Carnage, man, I don't even care, man. I'm going to start banning people that
I'm starting to see,
Carnage.
you guys will begin to continue to see just what a great staff we put together. I mean, honestly, I'm not just standing up here saying, this is an incredible coaching staff in terms of the way they teach, the way they demand, the way they, are on the field. You watch our individual drills.
Take that shit somewhere the fuck else.
You see these guys, man, they are experts at the game of football. And, You can get a lot out of that stuff. And when we get into the individual periods, which your individual periods will be a little bit longer today, that emphasis, man, for fundamentals, it makes a difference. Because if you take two evenly matched players, is what I believe, if you take two evenly matched players and in a 65-round game, 65-play game, the guy that's got the better foundation of fundamentals will probably come out on top because he's got more answers and more solutions based on how the guy wants to play them.
I'll show you why
Hey,
you're
Coach
not
Patrick
a
Walker,
fan.
DallasCowboys.com. Granted, the pads
Sit
aren't
your
on
ass in
just
the
yet,
fucking
but
shadow
you talk
realm.
about a player like Ezraku who had a great day yesterday. He's moving in multiple spots. Can you just talk
Didn't
about
even
how
read the
impressive it is
goddamn
for a
call,
rookie
man.
to be
Don't
such
care
a
to.
technician in his pass rush and how that will allow versatility with what Eberflus does?
Yeah. How'd you guys know he had a good day? It jumped off the
old,
field,
bro.
right? You guys are like, oh, there he is again. There he is again. There's that man again.
Tired of hearing
the timing of his footwork for a rookie,
Take
the
your
ability to
logic,
take two
fucking go
steps
the
and up
fuck
and
on.
under is dynamic. His pass rush adjustments
You're
and how he
asking
can
creep your
react
ass in
off
the
of
shadow
how a guy
realm like
plays him,
fucking
whether you use an
Carnage
inside
does.
hand or an outside hand punch, is impressive. We're seeing what we loved about him on film. And he just, the speed and the effortlessness that it takes to rush the passer is really good. But he also, again, to his credit, he's more than just a one-trick pony that's a pass rusher, man. He can set the edge with that length that he has and having a really good camp.
Joe Trahan, WFA TV. Coach, this is a little bit far afield, but
And
please go
another
here
one.
with me if you
All right,
would.
bro, that
You
name's
happen to
just
see
gonna
what
get
Scotty
your ass
Scheffler
banned.
said last week,
I'll
his
show you
comments about
sensitive
perspective on his
sensitive
sport
nut, motherfucker.
and how he views his place in golf
Fuck
and
out.
what winning means to him. And if you
Think I
did,
give
your
two
family's
shit?
been around this game so long, I'm curious about what you thought about it and how it translates to how you go about football.
Yeah, it would suck if I said no, right? But I actually did. I mean, it would suck to be like, okay, yeah, I didn't, so let me help you out, number one. I did. Somebody sent it to me because we're always looking for things to show the team. I think he was being vulnerable, which is great, and there's times like that. There's times when you go and you play incredibly tough game and you win it, and maybe it's a short week and you're just like, great win. You call the guys up, you're talking to them, you're like, hell of a job, and then you get on the plane or the bus, or you get in your car to go home, and you're like,
Anybody
damn, I
that
had to go
came
back and do
here
this again.
from the fucking name of Carnage, y'all can
what I
fucking
feel
leave.
is when you're doing it with people you love, and the biggest difference I would say to you is he plays a individual sport. We don't. So good times, bad times, I can put my arm around CeeDee Lamb and give him a hug. I can put my arm around Mike. I can be with Malik Hooker and cry with Malik and just be like, man, that was harder. Just, hold up a player that's exhausted after a double overtime game or whatever it is. I think that's the difference with what we do. We play a team sport, and that's why, again, the culture and the connection is so important.
Coach Sam Gannon, Fox 4 in Dallas. CeeDee gave a pretty candid press conference yesterday. One of the things I thought was really insightful that he talked about was that he likes hanging around the defensive guys a lot because he's a physical wide receiver. I'm curious if
You can go on as many counts as you want.
Style of play because of the fact that
The amount of accounts that you make.
Yeah, actually, the
amount
first
of counts that you can
the
make
first
is
play of the
limited.
move the ball
The
period
amount of
actually
timeouts
called a
that I
play
can
that
do
was for
is
CeeDee.
unlimited.
And I looked in the huddle, and CeeDee wasn't in there. And I was like looking over, and he was with some of the defensive guys. And then when he found out what the play was, he was like, no, I'll go. I was like, nope, you missed your chance.
Carnage was a fucking cancer.
Again, we want that competitive spirit. We want them having fun. We want them going out there and doing it. But I will say this, and I said it to the team today, when your best players practice the way CeeDee Lamb does,
Why y'all bringing
it
his
sets
ass
the
fuck up?
precedence of how important it is. And the way he
Damn, that
practiced
shit's
yesterday
past tense.
lifts the spirits of everybody else, but it makes it that
My
that's the
screens
standard.
aren't about him.
And so I didn't see his press conference, but again, just in terms
gonna
of
delete
him
this
and how
fucking
much fun he's
stream after
having,
now
I know
because
he's
there's been
thrilled to
too
be
much
back, but
mentioning of him.
when he practices
Shit's
like that,
annoying.
it usually is going to be a pretty good practice.
I don't care to talk about someone that ain't fucking here.
John and Javad, WFAA. Brian, this is a little bit out of right field.
Okay.
But Dak Prescott, at least from my hearing,
Exactly,
doesn't sound like
exactly,
he's doing the
Wicked.
here we go pre-snap. Has that been a intentional change? If that's true, and if it is a change, how did that happen?
So you guys
I really
asked me
do
this in the
believe
spring.
that my
I think I was misquoted, honestly.
the amount of times I can click a
I
button
said
is
that we
unlimited.
always tweak our cadence.
Yes.
But for those here we go lovers out there, but there'll also be some maybe things that It's not used. So, but I mean, why would we take it away
end of
when
the day,
it's
this
got
is my channel.
TikTok
This ain't his
memes
fucking
and
channel.
stuff like that? Like, why would we change it? But we always adjust it a little bit.
Carnage
And
wants
so,
to invite people to
the
a channel.
faithful
His
here
ass
we
needs
go
to go
people, he
fucking
does
make
say
one.
here we go at times, and at times he doesn't.
Manipulating it or changing it?
Just to give yourself an advantage. You know, the biggest thing is for your opponents in the division, but also every defensive line coach in the league. They listen to audio of, you know, it's legal, unlegal, you know, and but they all listen to it, so they get on to cadence rhythms and things like that. And so
The Cowboys
Dak's cadence is
practice with
incredible. Not
multiple
just the here we
teams.
go part. I think you saw us
Mostly
get a free
the
play
Rams,
yesterday where he
but
got him to
that's
jump and we threw a
because
ball to
they're
Terp.
locally
It's one of the best things that he does, man. And so we're going to let him do that. And but like everything we do, we're going to be multiple.
They practice with the Rams more than they practice with the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised if they practice with the Bears. though.
Fracases. And, so I don't think this is terribly premature. I think this team's been among the most heavily penalized team in the league 2 of the last 3 years at least. As a head coach, Bill Parcells once famously said, "I don't coach penalties," but head coaches have all different approaches. What's going to be your approach to penalties?
That's a great question, Brad. Yeah, that was from center field. We've had right field, left field. That's from center field. Here's what I would say. There's all types of penalties, right? There's pre-snap penalties, self-inflicted wound penalties where you jump off sides, you false start, legal motion, whatever it is, shaving. Those are unacceptable because we control those.
yeah.
There's going to be combative
but we also
penalties that are going to
practice with them
happen.
a lot.
You know, a guy's going to get kind of edge and he's going to not want to because he's trying to come off the block. He maybe grabs or restricts the guy a little bit. That's going to happen. I do believe that being the most penalized team in the league is not a good thing. I don't condone that. I think we have more discipline. We'll have more discipline than that. And that's
the
going to be
problem. I don't
coached.
want
And
that.
so
I don't want
you
that
got to
shit in
coach
my
these guys,
fucking
make sure they understand the rules. But penalties happen, and they're going to happen, and there's going to be flags. But the ones that we can control, which are the pre-snap ones and the self-discipline ones, we need to control those and keep those to a minimum.
Nicole Hutchison, Dallas Cowboys media. I've seen Luke Schoonmaker take a lot of first-team reps in
Him
12
and his
personnel
logic
looks,
are
something
gone.
that we didn't see much of last year. Where have you seen Luke grow this
with his logic,
offseason the
he'll have to be
most, and what's your
gone, too.
confidence level in him taking on a bigger role this year?
I'm going to say this really to all you guys. I mean, it's not like I've sat up here and been a head coach very long. You guys ask great questions, and you notice things, whether it's THIER or whatever. Luke Schoonmaker is having a terrific camp. We're 2 days in, but he had a terrific offseason. He's moving great. His confidence is at all-time high. Actually, I was walking out to walk through, or walking through one of the meetings with him and talking to him, one of the meetings, and I was asking him, I said, you know, what feels different? He's like, my body feels great based on the way he trained and the way he prepped, and he spent a lot of time at Sports Academy in Frisco, and I'm telling you, these young players, they figure it out.
What up,
and
E-Money?
I think you're seeing a guy that is beginning to figure it out, but he's doing awesome. He didn't even get the ball. He ran a
We
little
suck,
in-cut,
but you're here, right?
12-yard in-cut, and was being matched by a corner and kind of dropped him yesterday. He didn't get the ball, but like, I mean, it jumped off the film. It was like, whoa, that was awesome. And it's because, you know, he feels good and his confidence is high. But again, thank you guys for noticing the guys that are doing good things.
Mike Ducey, Fox 4. You got into this a little
Yeah,
bit.
Brian
a minute ago,
Schottenheimer.
Back to Dak. Since you've been working
Brian
around
Schottenheimer, I think is going to
which
be a hell of a
areas has he
coach.
improved most, in your opinion?
He's going to be a hell of a coach.
Well, there's
And
some
anybody
things
like,
I would say.
Other coaches that have talked about Brian Schottenheimer only have glowing things to say about him. Like that he was a hot candidate about 15 years ago to be a coach, didn't get picked, and kind of disappeared for a little while. But he's had a chance to study the league and learn the league. I didn't. All right. So what up, Jesus is King? When he first got hired as the head coach, I was not for him. But he has since then sold me based on what I've heard from him, based on what I've heard from the other coaches that are underneath him, and from what I've heard from the players that are wanting to run through brick walls for him. He's sold me. And the fact that I've seen the culture shift happen in this organization, this organization has had a culture shift and it's been more apparent this year than any other year. How that pans out is still to be seen because obviously we haven't played any games yet. But I do think that this head coach is going to be very good for the Cowboys.
That I'm noticing with him, we talked a little bit about playing under center. You know, that's been a little new for him, Deuce, when you talk about that. Not new for him, he's done it. All these guys play under center. Maybe not in college anymore, but a few teams.
Well, of course you do,
But
Messi.
probably just the
You're a
footwork training
homer.
from under center. We're trying to do some things
As
with him.
I'm a
I'm not going to
homer.
get in all the specifics of, some of the things we're doing.
But I wouldn't say that I have more confidence in one or the other because I don't know shit about the person you have running the lines. I don't know shit about him. So I couldn't say that I have more faith in one or the other. I could tell you that I do have faith in Brian Schottenheimer, though. And that I do want to get merchandise made that says, I'm riding with the Shotty. And then, like, on the back of the shirt, like a cartoon image of me and Shotty in the car and me holding a shotgun. Like, to me, that's kind of cool as hell. To me, the team gets the credit. And Dak will probably be a beneficiary in the coach. I think they both. I think they're kind of tied to each other at this point. I do think that they are kind of tied to each other at this point. But what I will say, though, King, is that I think anything other than the NFC Championship game is a failure. If they don't make it to an NFC Championship game at the end of the year, I'll be saying that the year was a failure. Plain and simple. The goal is for them to get over the hump. And to me, that would mean getting over the hump. I mean, he's been trying to give himself the credit for everything. That's why he fired Jimmy Johnson. But the media and the fans aren't going to give it to Jerry. They're going to see that Jerry had not much to do with anything this year. Jerry hasn't really been around this year. I'm not saying that I know this man, no, but what I do know of him, I don't know anything about Bob Morton. I have not the slightest clue. I don't even know what he looks like. I don't even know what Bob Morton looks like. But I've heard from coaches that aren't even on the Cowboys about Brian Schottenheimer. I've heard about coaches that are under Brian Schottenheimer on this team. I've heard from the players and everything that they say for them. I haven't heard them talk that way about Mike McCarthy. I didn't hear them talk like that at all about Jason Garrett or Mike McCarthy or Wade Phillips to be at that. I can't tell you what I remember from Dave Campo and them coaches past that, but I haven't heard players talk about our coach the way they've talked about Brian Schottenheimer since Jimmy Johnson. Like, the way the players talk and the way the under coaches talk about this man gives me faith in him. I think that this is the start of it, Wicked. This year will be the start of the sit back from Jerry Jones. It's already happened. Like, it's in progress right now. I'm not saying that it's finished, that Jerry's gone or done. Jerry will have he'll be there no matter what until he dies, I'm sure. But he's already given up the ownership name because his son, Steven, never had the title of co-owner. He was the chief operating officer of player personnel, and he was the director of something, but now his title is co-owner. Well, Stephen Jones didn't get that title until this offseason. That, to me, was the first sign that Jerry's starting to sit down in that chair and relax. Past that, you know, it's just what I've heard. So obviously, no, I don't know this man personally by any means. But I don't think Jerry has his hands meddling in the football team. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. Like last year, when they sat a healthy Rico Dowdle to play Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott when it should have been Rico Dowdle and Dalvin Cook, that was Jerry Jones. Nobody else wanted to do that. Mike McCarthy didn't want to do that. Mike McCarthy didn't even want Ezekiel Elliott back on the team last year. That was a Jerry Jones move. That type of stuff I don't think is going to be happening this year. I don't think we're going to have our best running back be a healthy scratch on game day for a backup that's been proven to have fallen off to be playing. I don't think that's going to be what we see.
In the shotgun and things like that, but this guy's a perfectionist.
That alone
man.
is what
and
gives me a
for
lot
a guy
of faith
that's
this
had the
year.
accomplishments and done the
But
things
again,
he's
like,
done, he
I'm
reminds me
looking at
so
that
much of
glass of Kool-Aid,
being around Andrew Luck, a
and it
guy
looks
that's had
really
great
good, and
success,
it looks like
but
he
he's willing
pushed theirs.
to try anything you throw
I'm
his
yet to
way. And
drink
hey,
it because I wanna
coach me
see
hard.
them
I want
play
that.
on
Yeah,
the
I can do that. Let
field
me
against
show you I
another
can do
team,
that. So I
whether
think
it's
it's
a
that
scrimmage
willingness
or
and
a
that
preseason
hunger
game.
to, hey, challenge me,
anything.
coach.
I just
Challenge
wanna
me to do
see
different things, Shoddy and Steve Shimko, and
some of what they got on the field.
I think that's important because as you get up.
One thing I will say that's different, okay, one thing that's blatantly obvious and different between Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett, and Brian Schottenheimer is Brian Schottenheimer is not afraid to admit that he needs to hire smarter, better football-minded people at certain positions to do a job for him, where Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett were too damn stubborn and thought they knew it all. This man is not above bringing in someone smarter than him to get the Cowboys where they need to be, which I love.
They're in age, you know, sometimes guys feel like they kind of know everything and they don't want to really be coached. And I haven't had many of those guys in my career because I don't get along very well with those guys. But he's not like that at all. It's been, he's a joy to coach.
Coach KJ Doyle, KRGB, when you kind of look at the NFC East, it's been one of the most competitive divisions from the last 20 years, something like that. You know, when you look at the landscape this year with obviously two of the representatives in the NFC Championship game coming back into it, making some key improvements, what do you kind of make of what that division's kind of shaping up to be competitive-wise this year?
Well, I'll steal a line from Jocko Willenick. I say good. That's what he says, good. I mean, it's what we want, right? It's going to be a competitive division. And we want to play these big-time games.
And this coach also has every position, no matter how veteran the player is, being a competition. Every position is at competition this year. They're all competing so that the best man can play. And I truly feel like he's going to have the full play in the position that they're best at.
Games, these primetime games against great people. Why? Because when you get into the playoffs, if you've had a easy go of it or anything like that, are you really prepared to go win a game on the road in the playoffs if you have to do that? No, you need battle scars and battle wounds and things like that. And it's a terrific division with great coaches, with tremendous talent. I think you see the fact that it's not been a repeat winner or whatever it's been over the past couple of years, it just shows you that those games are exciting. And the league's figured it out a little bit because, you know, now we're all playing our first two games against division opponents. And but I welcome those things, man. Like, we want those. Like, every game we play against a division opponent, whatever, it's another championship opportunity. And we don't get too high for the Eagles or the Commanders, and then we play somebody else and we take it easy. We don't do that. Every game's the same, but we know our division's extremely competitive, and it's going to be fun to compete against them.
Zach Hedrick from NBC and Fox in San Antonio. Coach, you mentioned Cooper Beebe earlier. What progression have you seen from him from year one to year two, and specifically, how has the chemistry developed between him and Dak in just terms of calling out protections up front?
They can.
Yeah, again,
the nepotism
awesome.
isn't here this year.
He's way more
He's not
comfortable.
bringing in
you know,
friends and
he's got a
family.
season
He's
under his
bringing in
belt, so everything is much
coaches-
more clear for
some of the
him. And he
coaches
did a
he
really
doesn't
good
even
job last year. But he and
even
Dak
know.
now almost anticipate
He just
what they
knows
want
that
to
they're
do.
good at what their
So,
position
you know,
is.
usually the center
knows good
drives
at
the
what their
initial
title
ID,
is.
and then the quarterbacks can move it. But
And
they're
that
to
they
the
can
point
be
where
a
they work so well
benefactor
together
of
now
helping
that they
this team.
really, Dak's like, I don't have to do much because he's doing a lot of it for him.
Mike McCarthy
I think
was
it's been
about
great
nepotism.
watching
He
the
brought in
relationship
people-
between him and Clayton.
I mean, honestly, the reason why he brought Brian Schottenheimer in was because Brian Schottenheimer's dad, Marty Schottenheimer, was the reason that Mike McCarthy had his first NFL job. Yo, what, Messi?
Off. He obviously knows, you know, Connor Riley from their time together at Kansas State. But, you know, Cooper just, I thought, had a good year last year. Did some great things up and down like most rookie centers. But he's, again, another guy that's playing with tremendous confidence. But he's able to react now. And when you react as a center, you play the game. You're not up there thinking, okay, oh, shit, what's the point here? I got to do this. He's just up there taking command of the offense. And that helps us play faster, which helps us get in and out of the huddle and get the ball snapped a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Tim Kalishaw, Dallas
Facts,
Morning
Wicked.
News. I have
facts.
personally noticed you signed 5 first-round picks this offseason for the defense. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that. You've talked about
I think
Elam
we
and
all
Murray,
picked up
3
on
guys
that.
up front. Thomas, Turner, Dante Fowler's been here before. Whatever roles they play, how much are you counting on that collection of players contributing this year?
Yeah, Tim, it's really a good point. I will say this. If you look at those guys, they all have you know, Dante's been here. You talked about Dante. The leadership component, the experience component. We need depth. You know, the way we're going to play hair on fire defense, attack front. You know, Peyton's a guy
Brian
coming
Schottenheimer
out
does
of
have some
college
roles
at Houston. We loved his
Seattle
length, and
Seahawks.
he's been productive in New Orleans.
As a coordinator.
Solomon, you guys see it every day in practice. He is the guy that
Brian
sets the
Schottenheimer
tempo and
does
the
have some
tone of running in practice. And
Brian Schottenheimer is also the creator of the Legion of Boom and the creator of Let Russ Cook. You remember that catchphrase with Seattle? Let Russ cook. They took him to the Super Bowl. He created that.
I think I said this before when we.
Now, I'm not saying that he claims credit for that, but the other coaches that were around him give him the credit for that. So I'm not saying that he claimed credit, but he has been given that credit by other coaches and players that played around him and for him in that offense and defense. Yeah, Hulk Hogan died. Definitely. Back to
When we played Washington last year, man, you know, they have DA on one side, but Dante, I mean, he was an ass kicker. And so, like, we were like, oh, man, like, what do you do? So, yeah, absolutely. We wanted to improve the depth of the roster with guys. First-round talent means we have to do what? We have to pull things out of them and figure out best ways to use them and stuff like that. But, again, I've say it again. I think we have maybe the best, if not the best, defensive line coach in the country in Aaron Whitecotton, and he seems to do that wherever he's been in terms of pulling the best out of everybody.
Brian, back on CD here for a second. Have you, in all the years you've coached, have you been around a guy as proficient outside in the slot, and what's the biggest advantage? Obviously, you know, I know it's about lining up in different spots, creating mismatches, but how much of a challenge is that for him, and how many guys have you been around that have been able to do it the way he does?
The reason I looked away, I was thinking, a name doesn't pop into my mind that was as efficient, proficient at doing it, but he's done it since I remember being here as a consultant. They were able to move him around. And when you're able to move him around, it's obviously a great advantage for us, but I'm going to take it even a step further.
What up, James? What's
the
good
fact
with you,
that
brother?
we do that with him has helped Cavante Turpin learn I need to learn the system and be able to be moved around, because look at them moving CD to go catch this route over here, that route over there. So Terp has learned that, and now we can move him. We're in the process of doing that with GP, where he's not just, like I said, lined up at X. So there's a powerful statement when you're able to move your best player around and he's going to these different spots, because it paints a picture to these other players like, well, if I need my touches, and if they can move me around because I know the system so well that I can line up at any spot they put me, that is really important. And the guy that feels it the most is the guy that's throwing the football, and that's Dak. And so he's special.
Daniel Stev at CW Dallas. Hate to put this on you, but with CD in mind, yesterday during his presser, he said he's the most excited guy to be at training camp, aside from maybe Sam Williams. Curious, in your perspective, who is more excited, and is there another candidate in mind?
Yeah, y'all can be talking your shit.
You did put that on me. CD's excited. He loves the game. When you're not, look, I've been gone for 5.5 weeks from these guys, and I missed them. I missed every single one of them. And so I think, he's that way. He's ready to work. He's excited about what we've done, the pieces we've added on offense, defense, bringing in GP. But I'm not going to pick. But Sam, based off what he's had to go through and the excitement that first day in pads, I mean, you literally might see him foaming at the mouth. He's going to be so excited to be out there when we put the pads on. But hopefully most of the guys we have, I think, to a man, everybody's thrilled to be here and at Oxnard and kicking off camp.
Michael Coleman, KOTV East Texas. You made a reference to your coaching staff. Young Overstreet, is he always that hype, always that just moving?
It's just annoying. Yeah, he really is annoying. When you're on offense, you're trying to call plays, right? I mean, it's so annoying, But the answer is yes.
He's part of what made WCW great in those Monday night
He's like
wars.
that all the time. He's like that in meetings. He's like that when we're traveling. He's like that everywhere, and he's easy to find because he's always got some form of tights or long sleeve shirts, and color coded. His shoe game's pretty legit, but very annoying from a way that he acts. No, he's amazing. I love his juice. I love his energy. That's what we want from our coaches.
All right. So when he was in the WCW and the WWF, because of the name that he had leeway with Vince McMahon and Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff. He had a lot of say-so in the way the production went. And from everything that talent that was around him has said, like the people that wrestled in the building with him has said, is that he would literally go into the office and advocate when he heard that they were getting an opportunity, and advocate that they don't get an opportunity because they're not this and that, because they're not this and that. He was holding talent down. Who knows what talent we missed out on because of that. And then he literally tried to ruin The Undertaker's career. What up, Cowboys fan? The man literally tried to ruin The Undertaker's career by faking a neck injury. And this was early in The Undertaker's career. Early on. Because he didn't want to be tombstoned by The Undertaker. And if you watch the clip, Hulk Hogan's head never even hits the mat. Hulk Hogan's head never hits the mat. And he acted like his neck was broken, which then in return makes The Undertaker look bad. And then The Undertaker also has come out and said that he advocated on trying to ruin The Undertaker's career. Why would The Undertaker have anything else bad to say about the man other than that? Fackstrom, he held a bunch of talent down because they might not have looked a certain way. 2, because they might not have been a big enough person physically to be a champion. And instead of referring to even somebody else he always referred back to himself. To me, that is selfish. And what he did to his family was selfish. I don't care what he said or what he did in the ring after that. And then when the steroid scandal came out as well, instead of just being honest with himself and with the fans, that he had been telling to eat your vitamins and do everything the right way, like this man was preaching, do everything the right way, be on the up and up of everything. But in the background, this motherfucker was doing the opposite. And then he came when he got caught, and he knew he was caught. He tried to lie about it on national television. I'm starting to not see much good in this man. Like, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan, because when I was a child, I did love him. I loved Hulk Hogan growing up. I ain't gonna lie. I have no reason to lie. Just everything that I've learned about the man, other than what he did in the ring, what he did in the ring was awesome. The persona and the character that he portrayed was awesome. But him, the person, was not. And which is why he wasn't around many other people in the WWE. It's why he reverted back to TNA, because he wasn't really welcomed. And then even when he made the guest appearance on the Raw premiere on Netflix, he got booed out the building. And you can go watch interviews of the other superstars after he got booed out of the building. You got Kevin Nash that did one. You got, I mean, I can go on. There's probably 10 or 15 WWE superstars. Buff Bagwell, Scott Steiner, they all had some type of video where they talked about why people may have booed him. And they're only speaking on the public matters. They're not even speaking on the personal matters that have been made public. They're speaking on the public matters that people saw without the court documents releasing the other, or the other evidence releasing the other. No, yeah, I don't like Cena. Yeah, I don't like Cena. I just don't like him. I mean, that's the place. I just don't like him. There ain't like, I mean, there are allegations on John Cena. There are that were covered up. There was tons of allegations on John Cena that were covered up by Vince McMahon, because Cena was all they had after the Attitude Era died, and all those superstars got old and left. And yeah, he was the only really entertaining thing in that period. I mean, that just is what it is. But no, I would have liked John Cena back in the day had he turned heel early on. I wanted him to turn heel early on. And for him to do it on a 10-month-long retirement tour, so that's all we're going to get of it, to me, that's trash. To me, that's trash. I'm sorry. What up, Incognito? What's good with you, brother? And sorry, Wicked, I saw you pop in earlier, too. I didn't even say what's up to you. What up? What it do? All right. I'm going to take this off. God damn. I don't know how many of you were here, but I remember once I talked about when I re-rolled my ankle at work and I took a rib shot from hell. Well, it was about a week and a half ago. Well, all of a sudden, this week, for some reason, after all right, so my ribs, they had a bruise for 2 days. It was a bruise for 2 days. The underlying pain was always kind of still there because I figured I bruised the rib. So it was just a mild underlying pain, consistently since the impact on the ribs. Well, for some reason this week, the pain in the ribs has intensified. And I don't really know why, but that's why I've been holding my ribs and shit. Because for some reason, there's no bruise on my skin. There's no bump. The bruise went away literally in like 2 days, maybe 3. But for some reason, the pain that was mild, well, it definitely got way worse. So now I got this pain, is fucking deep ass pain in my rib cage. This shit just hurts. Like, anytime I like breathe deep or cough or laugh, that shit hurts. So that's why, if you're wondering why I've been holding my ribs. Yeah, I don't know. See, the thing that confuses me, though, is like there was like an underlying pain since the impact. That was mild. It was mild, but for some reason, like 2 days ago, and this is like a week after the impact, the fucking pain just got way worse. And I don't know, like I said, it's weird to me because I've never had an injury where, like, unless I had surgery, that after the pain or after the impact, a week later, it was going to start hurting. No, I know I've broken a rib before. I've chipped one of my ribs before in a snowmobiling accident, where I was riding on a little trail, like a metal frame trailer behind a snowmobile with my friend. And he rolled the snowmobile and the trailer rolled on me. And that little trailer had like 1.5-inch, 2-inch, like galvanized angle iron on the side of it. And it landed right across the edge of one of my lower ribs and cracked it off. So yeah, I've had that before, but man, yeah. My previous rib injury, every now and then the muscle would inflame in between my ribs and kind of like pry on my ribs. Man, that pain was some of the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. That shit was crazy. That shit would like almost stop me dead in my tracks and drop me to the ground. I mean, no, I do generally stretch a good bit, but yeah, I mean, I'm stubborn as on, like, I don't like going to the doctor. Unless I, like, absolutely have to. But yeah, man, that shit sucks. But I was gonna see if there was another video on here. I think that's what I watched. I thought I had seen another video, and I thought I had already had it saved off to the side. But I could be mistaken. Damn, I didn't even realize we'd already been on here for 3 hours. Yeah, the last time I went to the doctor's when I almost cut my thumb tip off. No. There There was another time where I had to get stitches, and I sliced the shit out of my palm and had to get stitches. But that was a quick trip. I just stick to a healthy diet, workouts daily. No, I mean, I don't work out daily. I work out here and there, like randomly. But I do a lot of manual labor for my job as well. But yeah, it's just crazy. What you mean, Nemo? I do prefer you talking instead of the videos. Hey, well, I'm just trying to make it entertaining. Yeah, it seems that way lately. Yeah, 38 ain't been great to me. Or you could say 2025 hasn't been very great to me that way. I guess he chose to come back. I don't know. Maybe his friends told him I kept timing them out. Oh. Never said that. No, nobody ever said Carnage couldn't be here. You got timed out because you're you. Mr. I ain't never been timed out. And you came in right after I timed out your friends. So I put two and two together and called it a non-coincidental innocent, and gave you your first time out. And no, yeah, Incognito, yeah, definitely. I've always said he was still welcome here. He could come back at any time. I've never said that he had to go. Like I said, I don't ban people. I try not to ban people. But yeah, it was a coincidence with the timing, that's for sure. Because there was a lot being said about him prior to then. In that previous, 20, 30 minutes of conversation? Rubber band man. What's with the rubber band man? Hell yeah. Well, hopefully it's multiple. Who is this? Is that a rhetorical question? Definitely. Oh, we can read your name. We can read your name. But we know better. Lions 31-3, Chargers all big game prediction. I hear you, Shroom. You just noticed that, Messi? You just noticed that? I don't know. And I don't know why I always switch back and forth between calling you Noah and Messi. I know why I started calling you Messy, because at one point there was like 4 Noahs in here. But I don't know why I bounce back and forth between. I guess it's just whatever comes out first. Sometimes I mix you and Nemo's name up when I'm talking, so. Yeah, has the same profile picture and everything, Nemo. Has the same account and everything, Nemo. No, yeah, you definitely. Yeah, you hold that. You can hold that title, Noah. Oh, I'm not being disrespectful. Just be honest. We an honest place here. We rely on your honesty. What up, Trent? What it do?
You know what that is? It looks like
Shroom and OG burrito. What?
Good night, I love you. Good night, I love you.
Good night, love you.
Mom!
She's upstairs.
She's still awake. Thanks, she is.
That word being nice. Nemo, I think you're confusing yourself. Nemo, I think you're definitely confusing yourself. Messy. You're a fool, bro. Maybe Mr. Brad. Back shots. No, the only person that would probably impersonate Carnage's name would be Steel. So if it wasn't really Carnage, it would be Steel. And now he's probably going to say he's Steel because he knows he's Carnage. But it's all right. Messy. You're a fool, bro. It's fucked up. Y'all crazy. Sarah is a mod. I don't think she is anymore. I don't think she still has a moderator. I don't know. She ain't been in here in a while. I think Sarah, no. Did Sarah ever? I don't know that Sarah had a moderator. Go look in the mirror, definitely. Kind of in plain sight, right? Right? Can't even fool 72. Yeah, Nemo, I think you're getting lost in your own sauce there, brother. I think you're confusing yourself. Man, these vapes be hitting, bruh. They be hitting. Somebody posted a video. Micah Parsons holds out ? Cowboys camp drama exposed. Like, I just watched some camp videos. I ain't heard no drama. And Micah Parsons was there. He ain't actually participating, but he's with the team. No, I know what I'm seeing. Just because you got a different email for it and named it the same as your YouTube name. Like, come on, when you name your email and your YouTube name the same exact name, come on now. What up, Jalen? What's good, brother? You heard football and came on back? Yeah. We're going to have some football, brother. We definitely going to have some football soon. I can't wait. GOAT. Wicked the GOAT, bro. It's Wicked the GOAT. That's what it stands for. CD Prods, what's good, bro? Where you been? Nemo, it's carnage. Who else would it be? Like, literally, the only other person would be Toxic Steel or Steel, whichever you want. Pittsburgh Steel, whichever you want to call him. Steel. But he bang on. He cussed everybody out one day and Dip said it. And ain't been back since. Oh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Will you make a prediction video or stream for the Hall of Fame game? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about for the Hall of Fame game? I mean, when game time comes around, I normally do. Put like a short out with a prediction. I hadn't thought about doing it for the Hall of Fame game, but I mean, I could make a video for the Hall of Fame game. Couple Quaaludes, he'll be back. Yeah. Oh yeah, that definitely Nemo. Overall for the entire NFL. Oh, you mean for? Well, I mean, I won't do it for every team. I'll make one for the Cowboys. I'm not gonna make a prediction for every team, and then I'll make predictions, for the games that I'm watching. Or normally I don't do it for the game. I can't say that I've done it for the games that I've watched. I've always done it every week for the Cowboys. I didn't do it really for the other games, but I did post prediction shorts. There were shorts. I posted them, and I posted pre-game videos and post-game videos in the shorts. I didn't make any kind of long-term video for them though. Yeah, definitely, man. You did that shit on your own, bro. You definitely deserve all the respect for that. I'm too smart. Well, I figured you probably did. You've been around for a while now. I'm the smartest fish in this damn planet. You're supposed to say in the sea. The smartest damn fish in the sea. Because you're only in, well, I mean, you're in 75% of the planet, I guess. I'm definitely getting that. Oh, so now he went on his other channel. You tell me. You tell me what it is, bro. With Shroom being here, yes, I was going to say there may be one other person that would impersonate. And that would be, yeah, Super Troll CMX, Curtis. So, Messi, you remember CMX? They could be. But I still think it's Carnage. Carnage has told me that he had multiple accounts before. You should know better. Is that Dad Carnage? Jesus. Shit wild. Shit is wild in here tonight, chat. I don't know why they chose to do that. Nemo, you nailed it, bro. You nailed it. You fucking nailed it, bro. That nail sunk in the wood. Yeah, even made an email named after you. Damn, Trent. I think it's ridiculous. I ain't trying to be no damn detective. That ain't the role I'm portraying to want to be. Yo, it may be, Shroom. It may be. No, that's always been Carnage's profile pic. He just, if it ain't Carnage on that other account, then he just copied Carnage's account and made an email. But he did that a year ago. He did that a year ago. January. No. Because that account was made January 1st, 2024. That was before I knew Carnage. So how the hell would Curtis know Carnage? How would CMX know Carnage in 2024 in January? I didn't even know Carnage then. And the only way those two have gotten to meet each other would have been through my channel. So I still think it's Carnage. Because even Toxic didn't know him then. Those are the only two people I could see that would have made an account after his. No, it's plenty warm. It's plenty warm. It's called comfort, brother. It's just called comfort. Carnage didn't meet me until like, what, week 14, 13, some shit like that. So they're both Carnage. He's just on two devices. And there's the detective for you. It's not CMX Curtis because the account was made too long ago. So it was made intentions probably for another channel and is now paying dividends for this channel. Or he's done it for a bunch of people. Yeah, right, Mom? Yeah, exactly. No. Exactly. Steele's been gone. Steele left before you did, Carnage. What are you talking about? Steele cussed everybody out in the chat box one day before you left, and then he left and hasn't been back since. I don't know why. He came in, kind of got mad at something and cussed everybody out in the chat, which was really just, I believe it was you, Messi, Nemo, or whoever else was here. But he cussed y'all out, and then he dipped. And there wasn't really an explanation or a reason. The craziest part is now Carnage is starting to have a conversation with himself between two phones. Oh, God. The drama. Save the drama for the Fortnite Lolly Llama. No, yeah, I can, like I said, I can read your name. Based on when the account was made, it's the only person it could be. It's the only person it could be. Why would someone else a year and a half ago make a profile? Like, we didn't know each other a year and a half ago, Carnage. Come on now. I ain't stupid. I may be dumb, but I ain't stupid. You already know what I'm on, Carnage. You done been here long enough. Just because you took a, what, 3-week hiatus, that don't mean that you don't know. Nemo, dude, such great detective in journalism, bro. You did great. You did such a phenomenal job, Nemo. I'm super proud of you. Uber proud of you, bro. I like the number 8. What did Dylan say? I didn't even see what Dylan said. Where did Dylan say something? It was 80 here, human mess. Oh, no, you're a fool, bro. No, yeah, it was probably about 80 or no. I mean, I think it was warmer than that here, honestly. And we're talking about hitting 100 tomorrow or Saturday. What up, Toxic Menace? So now he's making another. Really, dude? Let me go see. Because it's the email. All right, let me just go see. Oh, shit. What's your question, Trent? Fuck out of my courtroom. You fucking. Oh. Oh, you, Nemo, you're a trip, bro. Why would the email? I don't know if that's really STEELE. I can't tell you if that's really STEELE or not. I would think so, but that's yeah, right, Nemo. I mean, Noah. Noah. God damn. You're under arrest by Officer Trent. Both cards. What is the charges? Looks like I'm on the job again. Real though. Steelers are in for a horrible season still. 2 accounts. Dude, you've been gone for a minute, and you cussed everybody out last time you were here, bro. You know, pretty much how you came in here today is how you left. For no reason. No reason that I know of. No, yeah, I did. I looked at it after. No, I said you're Carnage. I think both Carnages are imposters. They're impostoring each other. Probably in the closet. They're close enough. They are close enough, Carnage. One is just another picture of the picture. It's a screenshot of the picture, so it's zoomed different. But they tried. You a fake person. You in here impostoring yourself. I met you when you first came in here. I'd have to go look at your activity to see when you first came in here. What up, Dan? What's good, bro? Did you hear about Christian Wilkins getting cut by the Raiders? I did hear about that. I don't drink that much. Yeah, I figured it was something like that, but I don't think it's Curtis though, Shroom. I don't think it's Curtis. Because Shroom, the date of that channel's creation wasn't even this year. It was January 1st of last year. They didn't know each other. The only person that can be is Carnage. Or someone that he told to come here. There really ain't no different. No, yeah, I would definitely take him. I know I've heard of people talking about him from around there, from the Cowboys. Hey now, Toxic. You leave the herbs out of it. Yeah, but the email. The email has the same name. So how could he have made an account on that name with that email a year ago? Because that means that account, that email was used a year ago to make that account. Or else the email would be different than the account name. It wouldn't be the same. I mean, he could go change his email to that, but then at that point, that's making a new YouTube. And that would mean it would have a newer year. Man, shut the fuck up. Take your ass on out of here then. First care. No, I think it would be. I definitely think that it would be a hell of a good step. I think it would be a hell of a good step. I'd be all for it. He'd probably be one of the older people on the team because it's what year is he in now? Dan, what year is Christian Watkins in now? I've known that name for a while. Tis. No, I don't believe you. Only thing that happened was you were exposed for still being Carnage. Exactly. There's nobody else it could be. Based off the email, the date, and the name. No. Based off the date, the email, and the name, no. Only person you can be is Carnage. But I'm about to hop off here, guys, dude. We've been on here for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. I was going to make an hour-long YouTube video about talking about football. We done got way up off of that. So, man, hey, hopefully y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay great. We'll be back tomorrow night for SmackDown. Make sure y'all tune in at 8 o'clock. We will be here. So, yeah, man, get your clock set to 8 for tomorrow and show your ass up. But till then, I'm going to call it a night. Y'all stay blessed. Love all y'all. Peace.